Welcome back. Week 6 NFHell. 666. I'll stop there. Welcome back. This is the show where we talk about our 4 teams that are in NFHell. We talk about last week's games. We talk about the upcoming weeks. A couple of other fun things to do. My name is Midwest Jet, if I didn't say that already. Dames Marvs. Welcome in. Sup. G-Man Jazz. Welcome back. Ugh.
Still in hell.
Ugh.
Good to be back.
Gobo sliding on down. Sliding on.
I believe Gobo quit the show earlier today.
Yeah.
I didn't. Well,
He's like,
when
what time
they have
do we go on?
alluded to the fact that I had planned on quitting the show.
You inquired.
Yes.
And
to quit the show, my team would have to not, in fact, be in hell. So it is a prerequisite.
right. Hence the name out there. If this is your first time tuning in NFL, I've been a Jets fan my whole life. So there you have. That's our show in a nutshell. We're gonna get to Ricky's picks. We're gonna get to Let's Tell the Truth. We start off with the news. Prime time.
Prime time, Deion Sanders. All right, so Arizona State.
Arizona State.
Gary Bonds.
4. Should have been I think Prime's forgetting that this team was 1-11 last year. So maybe back off a little bit with your. This is your first conference win as a coach, having lost to Oregon and USC respectively. The kicker made a kick in the last couple seconds to win the game in regulation. I was kind of hoping for an overtime bout, but the kid's a stout kicker. So he made the kick and away they went. He went to the sideline. Deion pushed him back out to center field to go do a dance, and then promptly told all the rest of the team to get in the locker room. I wish I could have that film of what he said in the locker room. But he did say in the press conference that he was not happy with the victory. Happy with the victory ultimately, but not happy with the way it went down. And I certainly understand that. But
So did the kicker do the primetime dance, or what did he do?
yeah, he did a.
What is the actual primetime dance? It's hard to dance in
on 1 foot. Yeah, the high step and then the 1 foot where he's
Oh, okay. I think I'm like imagining the Billy White Shoes Johnson with the knees wiggling and
no.
Do they have some kind of slight free version of the gritty or something? I think Jamar Chase actually did one of the Deons this weekend on his 3 touchdown day. But
yeah.
The big story there is what they got 3 wins now, 4 wins. Are they 4-2?
Oh, the Buffaloes are 4-2. Yes.
Yeah, so they're 2 wins away from a bowl game, guys.
Yeah, they beat TCU, Colorado State, Nebraska, and Arizona State, and they lost to USC and Oregon.
And those are games that were top 10 teams in the country. So
high expectations from Deion,
anyway, we'll continue to follow it. There's not much interesting there. I just thought it was kind of.
Expectations were high, but he's definitely thrust the program back into mediocrity. So that's not nothing.
Yep.
Right.
Let the kids celebrate one night, guys. Come on, Prime. Let them celebrate.
Deion was Mr. Prime. Moving on, some sad news. My dad actually met this man. I have a little framed shot of him in my basement. Dick Butkus, Hall of Famer. Salute. Cheers to your family. Cheers to your.
I'll tell you right
now. What?
Bears didn't have a lot going on for a long time, but this guy was LT before LT.
Mm-hmm.
It was mean, nasty, just a killer on the field. I'm not comparing him to LT, so no comment needed there. But the spirit of the animal was the same. And, everybody that played against him was like, this guy was a bastard, man. And
psychopath.
Yeah, a psychopath. And I just, after the game of football, he did not come across that way at all. So there's that. I didn't really get to see him play much because it was a little bit before my time, but I've seen the goddamn clips, and the dude
Film
was
don't lie. Film don't lie.
a psychopath. So
I went to a Giants Bears game and Kiss bobblehead. I gave it to one of my buddies that's a Bears fan. So Butkus, stud, great guy after the career, like you said, Dames. Will be missed. Butkus. What's up with Gobo?
I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Butkus is
the spirit of Butkus is sacking my feed here because I'm wearing Packers stuff. But yeah, no, the man revolutionized inner linebacker play. And he was a mean son of a bitch, and I'm tweaking again. Hang on. Turn off, back on. Okay. And
I said bobblehead. I mean, you don't have to be one.
Yeah, got to recreate the situation. But yeah, it's sorely missed. Bears legend, Super Bowl champion. Not a great head coach, but you know what? Who cares? Butkus, hear that, coach? He's cursing.
Yep. Moving on to future Hall of Famers.
There's an award named after Butkus, by the way. Don't forget that.
There is,
That's
yes.
all.
Yeah. Good point. So out there,
Go.
R.I.P. Butkus. Justin Jefferson tweaked the hammy. Out at least 4 games. Doesn't sound good. I just got tickets for the Vikings Saints game, which is 5 weeks from now. They say that could be his first game back. I'm going with one of our listeners, Mark Dowling. So we're gonna go up there and watch the Vikings get destroyed.
I mean, just when they think it couldn't get any worse, JJ goes on IR. Like
Right.
they are in a downward spiral. It's Cousins to the Jets. Let's just be done with it.
yeah, but I'm reading the Jets are looking for a receiver instead of a quarterback. I'm like, what?
We're trading a receiver, Hardman, because he hasn't done anyway. He hasn't done anything.
I mean, Jets will jet. I mean, they're not known for their strong front office. I mean, they're a talented group of guys. They should be much better than what are they, 2-3?
Yeah.
But yeah, the Vikings, I mean, it's unfortunate. I think it's like Vikings and Cincinnati are going to be like the lolcows of the season, just because like they had such high expectations coming in, and they're just shit the bed in every possible way. Vikings are losing their best player. And if the Vikings like whiff on these next 4 games, do they even bring him back? Or do they let him rehab his knee knowing they were going to miss the playoffs?
Good point. Let us know down below in the comments what you guys think. Gobo's point of, maybe they just, or maybe he just says, I haven't got this paycheck yet.
Yeah. Or maybe he's really like, I'm going to Kansas City, coach.
It really sucks for NFL fans because we were looking at a guy, potential 2,000 yards, potential record-breaking season, and we're getting robbed of that. That's all I keep thinking about because
I think it's hamstring too, I believe.
But they're in a lot of games where they have to throw the ball a lot, and it was really looking like
my fantasy team was going to win because of him, but now, of course, another IR player. Anyway, one Jefferson to the other. Van Jefferson, receiver for the Rams, looks like he got shipped.
Fantasy football hell.
Yeah, fantasy football. Looks like he got shipped all the way across the coast to the Falcons, which, hey, Falcons need a receiver. Throw him in there. Maybe he'll start working. I mean, the Rams just got rid of him, I feel like, because they didn't have any room.
Yeah, they called Julio Jones, and he's like,
really?
Oh, no, I have nothing. I
was like, Julio?
Just imagine them saying, hey, he's better than anybody that we could trade for right now. Probably still.
Monday night. Those 2 rookies balling out, it's pretty easy to get rid of him. I think they gained like a 6th rounder for a 7th and got rid of him. Whatever.
Cool. All right. Eckler coming back from Monday Night Football. Like you say, it's nice when you have your fully loaded teams, get your good players back. We get to watch good football.
Why is that a big deal? Because they're playing the Chiefs. So, I mean, all hands on deck. Or they're playing Dallas, I'm sorry. All hands on deck. They need their players.
Yeah, they need the players. I agree. That'll be a fun game to watch. We'll
talk about it during the prediction section of the show, but I don't think Eckler is going to make a nickel's worth of difference in that game. I think San Diego. I think LA is still completely overmatched.
Oh, Oh, okay, we'll hear you from you in a little bit, Gobo. James Conner, running back. I feel like every year this guy gets injured. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, or maybe he played well for Pittsburgh. I think they traded him, then he got injured, then he came back. He's like been the number one running back, or like up there in the things every year, and he gets hurt. So is he out for the season? IR, or just 4?
They just put 4.
Just 4 for now.
We'll see.
All right. Kinda. He's definitely not the Terminator.
But he's going to miss the Seattle game, which
Gotta.
I want to play these guys at full tilt, and even then, it's kind of laughable. But I mean, it sucks. Stay healthy, you guys.
Yeah. Also, some good news for me. Bill Belichick possibly on the hot seat. I want to talk about it now. I want to talk about it in the news. 230 straight 30-point losses in a row. First time since 1970. James.
Let me ask you guys this first. This is rhetorical first. Are they going to fire him, or is there going to be some kind of like, we respect you enough?
Yeah, I mean,
that you're moving on.
Stepping down.
That type of thing. Secondly, does that mean he's done? I could think of a bunch of other teams that probably would be like, come here.
Oh my God. I mean, honestly, like, I don't think that's really necessarily rhetorical, because I think that, it's honestly, I don't think he's going to get shit canned. I don't think Robert Kraft is going to be that heartless to the guy who won him 7 Super Bowls, but honestly, or 6 Super Bowls. Honestly, like, Belichick is obviously past his prime. The schemes that he comes up with are not effective in the modern day NFL. Is he going to be effective with another team? Absolutely not. Does that mean that another team won't take a chance on him? I don't know that answer. NFL coaching is crazy. Josh McDaniels has a job. So, Vance Joseph is still employed somewhere. Like, I mean, there's a lot of really shitty coaches in the NFL right now. So is Bill Belichick as bad as those guys? Probably not. I mean, he shouldn't be the head coach anywhere, but like, do I think that he has I think that he's too much of a narcissist, honestly, to step down gracefully.
All right. I
you guys
appreciate what you think. I appreciate what you think. But what I think is, as long as Bill Belichick wants a job in the NFL as a head coach, he will have one. That's what
I'm not saying I disagree with that. I just don't think he should have one.
Right. So let's say he does leave. First of all, like, his coaching style, kind of like what you alluded to, is like he's it's like my way or the highway, do all in mumble, not gonna say shit. But as the future comes to fruition, it's like, well, now players don't respond to that. Okay. Players want to be on their phones. They want to do this, blah, 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 blah. And you can do it, and you can have fun, and you can still be a good team and win a Super Bowl. You don't have to be all.
Yeah, he had the luxury of having Tom Brady while he was, going through that phase from the old to the new, and everyone respected that, and had all those teammates were awesome. And I mean, could it be a head coach? Sure. Best part is maybe he'll come back as just a defensive coordinator. He doesn't want to put in 20 hours a day, just 16.
No.
Here's what I think.
For the Giants, full circle after Wink leaves.
No, don't bring the Giants into this.
Bill Belichick steps down as head coach of the Patriots at the conclusion of this season. Jerry Jones says goodbye to Mike McCarthy, brings in Bill Belichick. They stick Dan Quinn as coordinator. Do not
too
tell
much.
Jerry Jones would not be like,
too much.
This is what I've been missing.
Yep.
Jerry Jones. You know what? It's an interesting theory, because Jerry Jones is enough of a lunatic to make that move.
Right.
And also, Bill Belichick has also been, accused of some vague racism as well. So him and Jerry Jones probably get along pretty well. So, either way, is it going to make? Like I said, I don't think it makes much of a difference for the Cowboys in a postseason type setting. Is he better than Mike McCarthy? I mean, at this stage in the game, maybe not. I think they're both kind of past it.
I think the real question is if they play like this for another couple weeks, he's not going to have the luxury of being at the end of the year. If they play like this for 2, 3 more straight games, like the media and everything, like something has to give where Kraft will have to fire him if he doesn't step down. Like, there's no way this goes on like this for 5 games. There's like
they're restarting right now.
Okay, well, we'll see. And here's what I'm going to say with that is,
they got a new quarterback. They got
he plays his old coach.
Replace any of the people.
His old ball coach is coming to town. Raiders. McDaniel's is going to.
Well, they asked him. They said, "What does that mean?" He goes, "That we're starting over." Well, what does that mean? That we're restarting. He just kept saying,
What a
start again. We're starting again.
Yeah. Okay. No, you're actually not. You're in last place in the AFC East. All right.
That's got to feel good.
So, yeah, that felt pretty good, guys. Thank you. NFHell, I just got a breeze really quick. Okay, now I'm back. This week, don't forget, if you're going to probably notice, we don't talk about the Packers or the Steelers for the next week's game. They have a bye. Moving on.
That's
Let's
for bye.
Oh, yeah, bye. Okay, I was like, huh?
Bye.
Bye?
Week
5.
By week? We're going to move on to Let's Tell the Truth. And I'm going to start with Gobo today because I feel like, these texts, we just watched his game last night. It's fresh in everybody's minds. NFL, here we go. Let's Gobo.
All right, busting out the real world confessional booth here, boys. All right, the truth about being a Green Bay Packers fan right now is this season is bleak. I mean, we got a fast start, created some optimism. I think, I even let it get to my head a little bit. I was like, this Jordan Love kid, he had a good game against the Bears. He had a game-winning drive against the Saints. We had a decent first half against the Falcons. And then the last 2 games, he's been completely inefficient. Made the Raiders defense look competent when they're anything but. They have one good player, Max Crosby, and yeah, he was a terror. The fact of the matter is that Green Bay, we have a decent line, we have a good running back who's injured, and we have a decent defense, we have a good running back who's injured, and we have a completely inexperienced receiver core. We have a quarterback who lacks confidence to make any kind of throw over a 5-yard check down, and we have maybe one of the worst offensive lines in the NFL. So I look at Matt LaFleur on the sideline, and his face says it all. He's just like, did he really just fucking throw it that poorly again? Like, I was talking about this at work. I have a Packers fan friend at work. That interception that Love threw, it was right after the Raiders went up 10-7, and it was like kind of our chance to like get back into the game. And Jordan Love threw it into triple coverage, threw it 5 yards short of his receiver into the chest of the Raiders linebacker. Like, it looked like that scene from The Water Boy at the end of the first game where Bobby's looking for the guy who said something about his mom, and he kind of just gives him the ball. Like, that's what that interception looks like. He's like, "Oh, there you are," and he's like, "Thank you." Like, literally that. Like, they fucking recreated it on Monday Night Football in the pros with a professional quarterback that the Packers drafted in the first round. I don't feel good. My truth is my truth at the beginning of the season with the Packers, of the way that they are, with the schemes that they run, with the people they have on the field. We're not better than anybody else in the NFL right now. So it's like, we got a bye week. We got things put back together. We're coming back. They're coming to my hometown. I'm going to go see them. Broncos, Packers. It's an afternoon game, low pressure. God help us. I hope we win. I'm not counting my chickens. I thought this was going to be a high confidence game for the Packers. It's really not. Denver is a shit show, but like, I mean, we just got beat by the Raiders on national TV. So I can't be positive about this team right now. Like, we're in hell. We're in hell. So that's my truth, is that all the optimism of the season is going down like that little submersible craft outside of the Titanic earlier this year.
All right, let us know your guys' truth down below. What are you thinking about your team? You can say it, you can type it. It's fine. We won't tell anyone. Dames Marvs, Seahawks.
Yeah, my truth is twofold this week because we had a bye week and we didn't play. My hope was to get everyone healthy for the games going forward. Looks like that's on a pretty good trajectory. Our starting left tackle may be in play this week. Right tackle still maybe a couple of weeks off. Guards should be back. But I'm not really concerned about that since with a makeshift line first 3 out of 4 weeks, really they only underperformed in one half of football, and that was when everybody went down. But Pete Carroll has a way of getting this team and the guys on it to have this next man mentality and actually mean it. The depth across that line, especially getting this playing time early in this season, is only going to be good. If something happens on down the road, we won't have to be like, well, our season's over. Left tackle's gone. Gino's a dead man for the rest of the year. Hopefully we can avoid that. But the real truth is, I always say that I want to face everybody at full tilt. And I've been watching the Bengals a lot this year, and they've been awful. This week, you kind of saw some of their guys come back. You saw the Joe Burrows getting healthy, and some of the things the dude set college records for a reason. He's one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL for a reason, even though he hasn't shown it so far this season. If this week's play was any indictment on him getting healthier and even more healthy in the weeks to come, my truth is I'm a little bit nervous going into Cincinnati. I don't know what team we're going to get. I know that our pass rush right now is tops in the NFL as far as pressures goes, and that makes me feel amazing because it was an incredible low point for us last year. So those two truths. I don't know what if I actually do want to face the Bengals at full tilt, because that's a scary potential in their building. But I've watched a lot of coverage on our pass rush, and I want to see it against a team that protects well with full capabilities in front of them. So I don't know. That's all. Maybe that's lame coming out of a bye week, but that's what I got for you.
All right, thanks, James Mark, for telling us your truth. Again, tell us your truth below. Maybe you have the same truth as some of us with our things about our teams. Maybe your team's line sucks, but blah 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 blah. G-Men Jazz, we're gonna let you go next and talk about your NFL as a Giants fan. And go.
Speaking of offensive lines that suck, my truth is really simple. Without Andrew Thomas, we have the worst offensive line ever. If you've ever played, taking it back again, the Tecmo Bowl, and the players are excellent and they pick your play, that's every fucking play. And
hot.
What's that?
the truth is, you can't win with that, regardless of your quarterback sucks or he's pretty good, unless maybe you have a couple people back there. But that's it. One truth. Our O-line is absolutely pathetic. They're still saying Andrew Thomas might not even be back this week, which is like, you should have just went on IR at this point. Saquon, a better chance of being back than Andrew Thomas. Truth is, this is 90% must win this week. And after that, it's 100%. So, NFHell. Fiery.
Ooh, I have some questions for you, man, but we'll save them for
Save them for later.
Same for the matchup. All right. I'm going to go last but not least. Again, this is the Let's Tell the Truth segment of the show. Down below, you can skip and move around and pick out things. Dames Mars put some little bookmarks in there for you. My truth is going to be, and I've been pretty negative. I mean, I feel like my truths are a little negative. I want to go a little positive route this week. It was my birthday. I went to Denver. I saw the Jets win in kind of an ugly game. And in regards where, fumbles here, turnover there, blah, blah, blah. But Breece Hall dominated the game. He's at full go. And I have one question is, why did we even get Dalvin Cook? I mean, Breece Hall is insane. So that's good. My truth is, though, is about our quarterback. And, Zach Wilson is one of those guys where it's true. If you listen to the media, it is very easy to say this kid sucks. He isn't doing anything right. All he does is throw interceptions. But if you sit down and you actually look at some of the film, look at the O-line play, look when Breece Hall is in the game or when he's not, and how he plays. Overall, Zach Wilson, as a starter in the NFL, hasn't even started 2 full seasons. He has a winning record. He was 5-2, 6-2 last year. This year, he beat the Bills already, almost beat the Chiefs, beats the Broncos when he needs to. His Cowboys game was ugly, but it was him just coming in. So my truth is that I'm starting to get a little faith in Zach Wilson and seeing maybe his potential of what he could be. Get him out of the pocket. He has a cannon for an arm. He just needs to eliminate those one dumb plays that he makes a game. And I feel like once he does that, experience. So maybe this blessing in disguise that Rodgers is hurt, Zach gets all this time to play and, moving into next year, and then we have 2 good quarterbacks. I feel like it's a win-win for the Jets. So I'm feeling pretty positive about Zach Wilson. I can't wait for this week's matchup. We will get to that as we move in to last week's picks. Week 5, Dames? Yeah, week 5?
I just want to remind you why you got Dalvin Cook.
Aaron Rodgers.
No. I mean, that's how you got him. But Breece Hall was injured for this fucking season last year.
Yeah.
And I guess when you say Aaron Rodgers, yeah. But they didn't know that at the time, that he was going to die and not be available. But if something should happen to Breece Hall, heaven forbid.
It's a long season.
You're going to really be glad that you have Dalvin.
True.
Besides, if you want Breece Hall to last, you got,
you're right.
Seattle's doing. They're mixing 2 backs in there every game, at least. So if you have 2 good backs that can handle and get at least 3.5 per carry, 4 if you
crazy Breece stats. There's some crazy Breece stats in there's 4 other people that are all Hall of Famers. Basically, he averages 6-7 yards a carry in his first so many carries as a professional, and it's insane. Anyway, look that up online. We'll try to find it. I'll bring it down.
You could be like Achan and average 13 yards a carry.
Right. Don't forget to stick around at the end. Ricky's picks. Gamble responsibly. Keep turning in. You'd be up.
$550.
Boom.
We're up to 550.
$550 if you follow Ricky's picks, and you're $100 better.
There you go. There's no, can you start now? You can. So make sure, stick around. Listen to the end of the show. Here we go. Week 5. We all started off the week on a Thursday night, getting our ass kicked because we all took the stupid Commanders, which
I was so close to taking the Bears. If you remember, I went last.
Yeah.
I was I want to take the Bears here, but I just can't. And then
how can you pick the Bears?
Riverboat though doesn't gamble at all this game.
But here's the thing, you guys. I said this last week. A guy that throws 4 touchdown passes in an NFL game can't be the worst quarterback in the NFL. And then he did it again this week. And I'm going to reiterate, he certainly can't be the worst quarterback in the NFL. That was a pretty impressive statement game. For somebody that's been as beat up as the Bears and as ridden as hard as they have been in the media, That kid's got all kinds of pressure on him now, going into hostile territory and finding the guy that they brought for him to say, hey, we know that we didn't have anything for you in years past. We know that this is only the fourth week that you've had him, but it's go time. And that kid, DJ Moore, 3 tutties, 230. That's
it's a good fantasy start for a lot of people. People are like, well, you either got fucked or you fucking were like, woo!
Yeah. And if you had him, a lot of people benched him because his quarterback's Justin Fields. So I told you guys 2 weeks ago, I'm like, I'm going to wait and watch this game to see before I throw in the towel on Justin Fields. I still can't. I'm in a spot where I can't say that they're out of it, especially when they're playing another team that's like mediocre, I'm not going to pick them against the Chiefs, but
it's exciting to see how they're going to beat this.
I don't know.
Right.
I mean, honestly, like, it was a good win. Fields played a good game. DJ Moore played a good game. The Bears did what they needed to do. Washington's defense was kind of all over the place. That's usually a really good unit. Like you said, Riverboat Ron probably calling that gambling anonymous line because, he's not taking any chances on offense. I don't know. I think that honestly, the Bears had a good game. The Manders, the Salamanders did not. And so I think, I don't know. I'm still not sold on the Bears being a good team. I think Justin Fields is definitely a talented guy. He's a talented guy. I'll give him that. He's a talent. I still don't think he's a good quarterback. So, fantasy stats, regardless, still, it's like they still don't hold a candle to any of the NFL elites. They don't hold a candle to any of the NFL mid teams. I mean, like I said, the Commanders had an off night. We'll see.
Gobo, I don't know if you watched this, but the first throw of the game, he had a wide receiver bolting down and he just overthrew him. And I was like, oh God, he sucks so bad. And then the next play was the same play on the other side of the field and they connected. I was like, I'm so conflicted.
That's the thing. It's like, I don't understand it. NFL quarterbacks who can't make accurate throws. It's just, it confounds me. I'm dealing with one myself. If you can't throw the ball, you can't play in the NFL. I like there's so many unbelievably talented people in the NFL. Like Taysom Hill's a running back and can throw it accurately. I don't understand why it's so fucking difficult.
Right.
These starters, these first round guys to make these throws.
8 billion people on the planet. We can't find 32 of them that can do it. 8 billion people on the planet. We can't find 32. I thought that's like a serious question. Like NFL, your team, like you're a Bears fan right now. You're in NFL. You're like, and they win.
DJ Moore could have literally had more, pun intended. Like he was easily overthrown on a touchdown in the corner as well. I don't know if that was that same play you're talking about, James, or another one later, but
later.
My question is NFC East here. Washington, what exactly are you? Like sometimes you look like you're a pretty good-looking team taking Philly down the wire, blah, 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 and then you come and get a 40 burger on you by a quarterback. It's inaccurate, but
that's why it's a crap game, dude. I said that last week. I was like, this
Thursday
is a crap game for them. They didn't take it very serious.
The Bears.
Yep, the Bears. All right, moving on over to London. And I had this debate with a few people, or not debate, I guess we had a discussion about this game. So Jacksonville, it was in London again to play the Bills, and they pulled off the victory. A surprising victory to most people, I would say. And I'm going to beg, here's the question. Did they have an advantage? They were over there. They stayed over there. They've already played in the stadium this last week. They come back in. And the Bills are flying in, everything, maybe, oh my God, let's look at we're here. I don't know. I'm not saying it played a huge role, but I feel like there had to be some type of advantage. And besides Gobo, us three all took the Bills. Gobo took a flyer on the Jags overseas. Big Dick Lawrence.
He said it. Gobo said it. I believe Gobo said it. They're at home. It's a home game. And actually, I did watch some of this game, and the Bills Mafia did travel pretty good. So it was a pretty good crowd both ways. But you're right, Buffalo, the disadvantage not being there for a week, and I mean, you get comfortable, you get in a routine. Buffalo flying in just a little chaotic to their schedule versus the Jags who had been there. So every time I pick the Jags, they lose. I pick against them, they win. So fuck you, Peterson.
Gobo, you go. Yes.
I'm just gonna say, you know what? Like every time a team that's not Jacksonville goes to London, it's an exhibition game. They don't bring their A game. The team is jet lagged. They don't have proper practice facilities. There's fans of like 48 different teams in the stands, even though there's 32 teams in the NFL.
There's some NBA. I think I saw a couple NBA major.
No, for real. People are wearing like Wrexham United jerseys and shit.
Soccer.
Yeah, yeah. There's like some people think it's fucking rugby. Like, yeah, nobody knows what's going on. But Jacksonville has a fan base in London. So every time players go over there, it's like, this is fun. We're in Europe, whatever, blah blah blah. Blood pudding and girls with mustaches. But Jacksonville is the only team there that's actually there to do business. So I'm telling you, whatever ownership in Jacksonville, get them out of there. Take them out of Florida. Florida's got enough teams. Jacksonville's a shithole. They don't deserve an NFL franchise. Get them to London. Get them to London. Get them to play in a division with East Coast teams. The travel wouldn't be that much worse. And you know what? I think Jacksonville. I think they should be the London Jaguars, if I'm being honest.
Boom. Games.
Wow.
I biffed this one, dude. I biffed it. I mean, we all know what Jacksonville's capable of. We saw it last season. We haven't seen it this season, and now we're seeing it.
Yeah. I mean, to me, they're kind of one of those teams where, like, maybe this is where they kind of get off the schneid and they're going to start being who we thought they were, just a slow start. It happens. Speaking of fast starts, Houston this year, CJ Stroud coming out of the fun thing, comes down the field with, thinking they're winning the game. They scored too fast. Hot Atlanta. I started the week 0-3 thanks to this game. I pick Houston, dumbass. Like, come on, NFL. Houston, why would I pick Houston? Why would I pick Houston? Anyone?
No, you guys don't know. CJ Stroud's rookie of the year.
I guess
you were mesmerized by the rookie, and I said, their trajectory can't be like this, and that's why I picked Atlanta. I said I love everything CJ Stroud is doing. I believe in him, but they can't go like this.
Did he finally throw an interception or not?
No.
They whooped up on Pittsburgh is why you did that. They whooped up on Pittsburgh the week before.
Yeah. See, it's just
Houston's got a lot of young talent. They've got some potentially like all-star level talent that could really progress into a lot of wins in the near future. But they're an incomplete team, and yeah, sometimes they're going to get exposed. I mean, Atlanta, for all their problems, I think has a pretty solid core of guys. I think that they have a team that's been together for a while. And yeah, like Bijan was kind of like, oh, you're offensive rookie of the year. Let me show you a thing, son.
You see that catch, man? Did you see that catch and touchdown? That was left-handed.
Bijan is a bad man. That is fun to watch.
He's a freak. Anybody got any other thoughts on it? VT, tune in. Tell us below. I see him tweeting out some things about how they're loving this kid down there. I'd be happy too. I mean, because we remember at the beginning of the year, if we probably rewind our tapes, we're like, Houston, they're gonna fucking stuff. Like, we can look at.
We all said that.
There was no reason to think they weren't, because like I said, they're kind of a fragmented team with
problems.
And there was a lot of potential talent that we're seeing is going to result in real talent, it looks like. And so, there was no reason to be optimistic about the Texans, but that's honestly almost better.
Yep, I agree. Yeah. Yep. Some optimism is kind of fading for the next matchup. Carolina might be, or I mean, a lot of people maybe would say, I might be the worst team in football. I mean, I know they have a rookie quarterback. I know they have a new coach, but they're not even. I don't know. It's very. They're not that good. They're not that good. And Detroit is, going to win the NFC North. They're just showing everyone that they are for real this year, and they're just kind of taking care of business, in my opinion. So I wasn't that surprised. None of us were. We all picked Detroit big, so I feel like this was kind of an easy one, Dames.
Carolina needs to be sellers right now. They don't have draft capital coming up in this upcoming draft, and they drastically need wide receivers. They got rid of the one that they had to the Bears. And it's not going to go good for them until they fix that. So I fully see before the end of this month, they'll be selling some key pieces from probably their defense. But the truth of the matter is this season's tanked. Not even the Red Rifle could save them at this point. And they're going to have to get some draft capital in this upcoming draft, or they're suck for several years.
Right, and I think Thielen, their bright spot at receiver, this is it. This is like kind of his like, oh, look at me, I'm the number. But next year he's done. Like it doesn't.
He went from like awesome to terrible.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the Panthers don't make any sense to me. They kind of it's kind of the story of the Broncos. I see but it's in the early stages of it where it's like the Panthers were like, okay, we're on the cusp. We need a couple of pieces. Let's move on from these contracts that we're saddled with. Get rid of McCaffrey, get rid of Moore, bring in a new quarterback, revitalize the offense, bring all this shit in, and they were wrong. Like they put completely the wrong cast of characters around Bryce Young. The kid was not NFL ready. His line did not do him any favors. He's gotten beat to hell the first 5 weeks of the season. And honestly, it's hard to determine who's actually the worst team in the NFL because things are so variable, but the Panthers have been consistently bad. They're the only ones who haven't the Bears have had a flare up. The Broncos have had a flare up. There's been a couple of the Giants have had a flare up, where they've had a couple of really good games and good plays. But at the end of the day, the Panthers haven't had that at all. Aside from one serviceable game against Atlanta that ended up being a multiple touchdown loss, the Panthers they just look like they show up to lose.
I still feel like he's still. Ever since he was throwing an NFL football compared to a college one, I was just like, I feel like he's just a little guy. I feel like it's just the tape. You just watch him, like, no, he's not it.
His brains have been all scrambled.
And he's also getting hit a bit.
It's hard to throw a football when you see five receivers. That's actually one guy.
James, anything? G-Man?
I mean, no, I do. San Francisco and Philadelphia, if you're those two teams, the only other team I think you're really worried about in the NFC would be Detroit. These guys run the shit out of the ball. No offense to the Seahawks or, Cowboys or, I don't know. I think it's the Lions, and it's because they can run the ball. And they did this without Amon-Ra St. Brown as well. So they're missing a weapon, and they still come out and put 42 on the board. So they got a pretty talented team.
Yep.
Lions are badass, dude. And that's a division rival, and I can fully admit they're a great team.
They are. They're definitely not in NFL. Tennessee, Indy, the two teams in the league, I'm going to say, are kind of both. I have no idea. I have no idea. 1 week they're good, 1 week they're next week they're next week they're good. Tennessee, Indy. Two of us took Tennessee, me and Dames. Dames was a coin flip. G-Man and Gobo took Indy. I don't know why I took Tennessee. Gosh, every week I'm like, why would I take? I hate Tennessee. Last year I did this. I can remember us every week. I was like, their defense is good. They're giving them games. They just run the ball with Henry, Tannehill, blah, blah. No, I'm done. No more Tennessee. to Tennessee. Done for me. G-Men, what do you think?
I mean, I was already done with Tennessee, so yeah, I'm on the same boat with you there with those guys. Indianapolis, I think Richardson's going to miss some time now, or is still missing time, I believe. So we get more of whichever backup it is. That Minshew there is
Isn't it the
it the
mustache?
other one?
Dinshew.
Minshew against his old team coming up next week, I believe.
Oh, yeah, that'll be a big match.
I mean, there's not much else to say about this game. Both these teams, sometimes Derrick Henry shows up and they win. Sometimes he doesn't. They lose. Colts, sometimes their defense shows up, they win. Sometimes they don't, and they lose. So you don't know. I picked the home team. I was right. But this game could have gone either way. And yeah, just one team was going to look significantly better. It does not mean that one of these teams is significantly better than the other one.
Jonathan Taylor was back, by the way. If you didn't know at home, JT back in the house, signed his deal.
I was going to say new contract.
Yeah, new contract.
Nice deal.
Me?
You, man.
Coin toss, fuck me.
Yeah, coin toss. Yep. Tails never fails because I'm jails. All right, next up, the G-Men of New York went down to Miami.
Did they?
G-Men Jazz put his heart and soul into their win, maybe 1 point win. We other three kind of knew it was coming, and we just went with it to get that dub. G-Men, go ahead. Give us your take on your game. I mean, you gave us your truth, which probably leads well into this.
NFHell. Yes. So I think we went from being on pace to be sacked 94 times to now being on pace 100 and some odd times. You throw in Tyrod and Jones together. DJ's only 99 times if he plays because he didn't finish this game with a neck injury. My O lineman was literally crying after the game because let that guy go by and crush neck. So Tyrod's gonna get hurt, and then the next guy's gonna get hurt unless Andrew Thomas comes back, and the other whoever comes back, we sign this Lael Collins as a free agent. I'm like, give him everything because the Jets and Giants are both in the hunt for this 10-year vet. I think can at least comprehend NFL game. These guys are fucking incompetent, and hell is burning hotter, and I'm getting more irritated every time I watch a game. To the end of the game, I can take, I'm out. I'm out before the game's over, guys. I'm gonna admit it. Never in Eli Manning's career did that happen until Geno replaced him, and now it's just happening like 2 of the last 3 weeks. It's ridiculous. They cannot block anything, so you can't evaluate anyone. Defense played good. We scored a defensive touchdown. Our only touchdown in the first half all year has been a defensive one. It's been another 2.5 games without an offensive touchdown. The defense can only do so much, which is because 40 minutes on the field to 20 every game is a recipe for fucking game wear down, et cetera, et cetera. Let's move on.
James, anything to add to this beatdown?
I watched it. I don't remember anything about it of significance, so I'll just trust that Jess covered everything.
Yeah, I mean,
well, I'll tell you, I'll give you the Miami thing. They have more yards than the greatest show on turf. They're on pace for more yards than the greatest show on turf. So the most yards through 5 games in NFL history, the Dolphins. I will give them props. They just do whatever they want, man.
Tyreek Hill was jumping up in the crowd celebrating with fans. I mean,
hoping you can get a turnover, a couple turnovers, and we got a couple turnovers and sacks, but
yep. I mean, we're all good. Go to the next game.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah, the Giants O line can't block a toilet at this point. Dolphins, they're a fun team to watch. They got so many weapons. They're pretty supercharged. I still think there's a lot of question marks on defense. I still think they're probably going to get routed in the playoffs by a competent defensive team like the Chiefs or maybe the Bills. But I mean, honestly, the AFC is looking a little suspect this year, so maybe the Dolphins can make a move. But yeah, they got a lot going on. I think it's a good time to be a Miami fan. Which I guess they've earned it. You know, they've been in hell for many, many years. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I feel bad watching the Giants is kind of painful, especially just because you knew coming into this season, Saquon got his deal. Jones, you know, he had a good season last year. You guys won a playoff game. I mean, there was a lot to be excited about, and it's just like you just hit a wall.
It's like last year. It's like last year never happened, bro. It's like 2 years ago. It's like,
I
whoa,
know
what happened?
it's just like
What?
it's just like
What?
it's crazy. It's just like you guys have this huge drop off, and yeah, I think that this next week is going to be a huge pivotal point because yeah, you guys go to 1-5. I think that the effort on the players is going to start going down, which is bad news.
Yep. All right, moving on from G-Men Jazz's NFL. Again, let us know down below your thoughts on these games. Play along at home. Next up, the Patriots at home against the Saints. You three took the Saints. For some dumb reason, I took the Patriots. I'll go ahead and start. We kind of talked about this at the beginning of the show a little bit about Belichick losing. I don't know if I mentioned this, but back-to-back weeks losing by 30. It hasn't happened to the Patriots since 1970, before Tom Brady was even born. Mac Jones. Another funny thing I think about this game is Mac Jones gets benched. Belichick has to talk about it again, yet he still is QB1. I'm like, if this is in New York right now, my God, Mac Jones is like the worst quarterback of all time. I mean, like, so Dames wants to talk about this New York media. Oh, we get all the votes. We also get all of the, hey, we might have a good player, but the media just ate them alive, and now they're never going to play football again. So we have a lot of that. So I'll just say New Orleans. I like their defense. And Derek Carr again. He wins games. I mean, this is kind of like the Raiders, but the whole story is the Patriots slow and now fast kind of decline. So my NFL cools off a little when the Patriots suck. So I'm not going to lie. That doesn't make me a little happy. Dames Marvs.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with what you said. It was a shit burger of a game.
Right. Yep. Gobo.
I know you guys want me to talk.
I think
you're good, man.
It might be counterintuitive to say this because the name of the mascot up in New England, but I think America wins when the Patriots lose. So I mean, we all have various reasons for hating the Patriots. I mean, Jazz, Super Bowl, you shot them down twice. They probably hate
love them.
You hate them. James, you got the fucking interception on the 1 yard line in the Super Bowl. And then, Jails did,
over half my life of losing.
A zillion reasons why you probably don't like that team. I mean,
you beat them this year, though.
No, I didn't.
No, but you got another shot.
I know, last game of the season, last game of the year.
But honestly, I think the Saints. I mean, they're okay. They're another one of those teams that shows flares of competence. Derek Carr, is not a good quarterback, but he's decent. I would probably take him over Jordan Love at this point in the season. Not considering the developmental issues that are going on. But I mean, we beat the Saints. We found a way to get it done, and the 34-0 at home. That's really not an excuse for that. I'm sorry. How are you Bill Belichick and you get routed at home by the fucking Saints? It's terrible.
What is going on in New England, G-Man? What do you think?
I think a lot of things are going on in New England, and like we talked earlier, Belichick's time is pretty much done there. He's tied to whoever's after Tom Brady, and no one could even match the pressure that brings to whoever's trying to do this. So you're already, climbing up a mountain that's taller than any other mountain on the planet, pretty much, the football planet. So 0-3 at home, just getting their asses kicked. Obviously, the team is obviously not responding. So it's a matter of It's a matter of a couple weeks. Who do they play this? Who's next? Does anyone know?
Yeah, Houston. No, wait. Never mind. Don't listen to me.
Oh, Vegas at Raiders. So yeah, so if they
Yeah.
go and lose
Good
that, if they
game.
go and lose Vegas big this week, man, the heat is real.
Yeah,
That's
will
all.
Belichick being going down to
Well,
NFL?
think about the other thing you said about Derek Carr. If he was pretty decent and got the Raiders some wins with no defense ever, and now he actually has, say, the Saints are a top 10 defense. I don't know that for sure. I'm just pulling it out. Putting a shutout seems to be making me think they'd be in the top 10. Um, what can he do with a team with a good defense? So we'll see.
Yep. Good running game. Kamara's back. All right, Baltimore, Pittsburgh. We all took the L on this. What a finish. I don't know if you guys watched this game. I actually caught the ending of it when they drove down and scored the touchdown. I was just like, wow. Baltimore, I feel like, is one of those teams. Are they playing at the level of their opponent? I almost feel like that is what is happening. And then in this case, sometimes they do it and they can kind of squeak out the win still. But this week, I feel like they did. And they lost. So I'm not sure what's going on with Baltimore. Pittsburgh, it's the Tomlin effect again. 1 minute we're saying, oh, well, maybe he's not. And then here they are beating a team that they're probably not supposed to beat. Gobo, thoughts on this game?
Pittsburgh's probably the hardest team to pick because it's another one of those. Sometimes they get up for games and they're hard to beat. TJ Watt makes his presence known and he makes it hard to move the ball, and then you don't need a great quarterback or a great offense to get a game when you're beating them up that good. And Pittsburgh has a serviceable offense. They're good enough to get some points. But yeah, honestly, like I picked Baltimore in this game just because I feel like that Houston game should have been really easy to win for Pittsburgh, and they got smoked. And I'm like, okay, yeah, regardless of Tomlin, even though this was kind of a trap game, any division game, it could really kind of go either way. But yeah, honestly, Baltimore, they gotta find a way to win these games. This is kind of why I'm worried about the AFC, because I think Baltimore is one of the best teams in the AFC right now, and they're going out there losing to an inferior opponent, in my opinion. So, yeah, weird game.
Weird. James, you're on mute, FYI. You're muted. It's time to unmute.
You guys aren't wrong. It's hard for me to comment when you guys steal up all the good words, but you guys know I love Tomlin. He probably feels he needs games like this to stay one of the most tenured coaches in the NFL, and thankfully he knows how to get it done. Because going into this game, I didn't see it.
Didn't see it either. G-Man, anything to add to this game?
I don't think it can be overstated. Division game at home, Pittsburgh. It's a division game at home with a team that has a player like TJ Watt. As long as you don't have a few of those crazy plays go against you, you're probably going to be in the game. And we were all wrong.
We were all wrong. Speaking of being wrong, me, Jas, and Gobo were all wrong on the next one. James, we'll let you start this one off. Cincinnati, Arizona. You did take Cincy on the road. It was kind of like one of those games where Arizona just was kind of playing good. Cincy's been playing bad. Go ahead.
Here's the thing. I knew that we were going to be playing them after the bye, and I know they've looked really bad this year, but Carson Wentz's injury isn't getting worse; it's getting better, and that's lucky for them to say that.
Hold on. You said Carson.
You said Carson Wentz, yeah.
We knew who you meant.
I meant Carson Palmer, but
I was like Bengals circa
Joe Burrow's injury is getting better and not worse, and they're lucky that that's the case. I was really hoping the Cardinals would get after him and maybe take him down a notch, but I can't see that team staying down forever, so I picked against it.
Right, and pretty sure I read Jamar Chase was like, get me basically rumors where he was like, get me out of here, blah, blah, blah. And then he comes out and dominates. Part of me thinks that's part of the show. Like, oh yeah, he's so disgruntled. And then they just, he's like the number one target in the game plan. Mind games, man. Mind games. G-Man.
It's got one question. Is Carson Wentz your man crush, Dames, or what's going on there?
Maybe at one point.
Oh, the
I ever
Ginger
liked him.
Jesus? Ginger
Fucking
Jesus?
I ever liked him.
Played for the fucking Eagles, man. Oh, I don't have anything to add to that. It was
Gobes.
I mean, yeah, if you'd have like come to me preseason and been like, pick a winner here, I'd put $1,000 on Cincinnati. But yeah, they didn't play them like shit. There's something wrong with their core, but they're so much more talented than Arizona. I thought Arizona would eke out a win. I thought that I almost called him Carson Palmer too. I thought that fucking Dames. I thought that Joe Burrow's injury was a lot more serious than it came across. But yeah, he's figuring it out. And maybe this whole thing with Jamar Chase is just a show. You know what? I'm thinking if I was a head coach and I wanted to fuck with the other coach, I would have my players saying the weirdest shit to the media they could possibly come up with.
Yeah.
I would have a whole team of Marshawn Lynch's. And then, like, just behind closed doors, everybody would be like, okay, now we have to have a positive team atmosphere.
Yeah.
But, like, make them think things are dysfunctional. So,
and maybe that's
it could be a show with Jamar Chase.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe Ocho Cinco doesn't want out.
Yeah.
Isn't he in jail now?
Is he? Oh, come on.
No, he's on a podcast with Shannon Sharp.
Oh, I love Shannon Sharp.
You'll be on podcast through jail, can't you?
Well, I suppose you're right.
I mean,
yeah.
Depending on
right. They have rights,
Mark.
They have rights.
I got rights, man. Speaking of not wanting to go to a city, Philly, fuck you. Philly went to the Rams, and we all took them winning on the road. I would like to say, number one, selfish reasons, kind of like Dames when he talks about he wants everybody's best. I want to see what the Jets can do against the undefeated Philly, undefeated Eagles. So I'm glad that they're still undefeated. This coming week, we'll talk about that. But other than that, I feel like Philly just takes care of business. As
they will this week. But whatever.
That's not time for those opinions.
Yeah, it's not time for those opinions quite yet. So anyway, we all took Philly on the road. They're just one of those teams that just are figuring out, how to win. Dames?
Dude, despite Atwell, Yuka, and getting Cooper Kupp back, I just thought that Philly's front four would get on Stafford, and that's all you got to do. As I said, the Rams go as Stafford goes. So that's why I picked Philly.
G-Man?
Like, is Matt Stafford the greatest 20 to 20 or in between the 20 quarterback getting yards or something? It's like he always has tons of stats. His receivers have all the Kupp was over 100. I think Puka was close, and then the other guy had a touchdown. It's like, why does he always have all these stats, but he's never? He did win.
Calvin Johnson had 100. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know, but we all expect.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm good.
Gobo.
Stafford's a gritty guy. He's a tough quarterback. I think he throws an accurate pass. I don't think he's a clutch guy. I think that they got that Super Bowl because of a really good defense, really good coaching schemes. The Rams, I think they have a lot of promise. I think that they're a lot better than we were expecting them to be this year, but still Eagles, man, you can't block their defensive line. You can't beat them. And I don't see a team yet that can block them. So maybe the 49ers. So
the Rams did this thing where they went all in when they made the Stafford. They went all in to win the Super Bowl. They won the Super Bowl knowing that they can't sustain. They're in that moment of downturn where they're not able to sustain anything, and they lost a lot of draft capital. But what's quintessential here is the fact that McVay stayed, because they would be in absolute NFL hell without that guy.
Absolutely.
He gets that team ready to go every week. He gets the most out of those guys, and
Yeah.
He's a great coach. I mean,
NFL. NF.
there's
They got-
a reason Stafford never won a Super Bowl with the Lions.
Stafford's big salary and a bunch of young guys, so it's kind of cool to see what they'll turn into by the end of the year if Stafford survives.
Yep. Never know. All right, moving on. I'll start this one off. Denver loses at home to the Jets. Again, I was at the game. I don't know why Dames didn't take the Jets when he knew I was going to it. It's a lot more fun to root for the team when there's a person there, especially on his birthday. The coolest part about the game, probably for me, one of the coolest parts wasn't even at the game. There's two things. Number one, Brees Hall shouted happy birthday to me because I brought a little sign saying it's my birthday. And I told him I was a Cyclone. That's where I graduated from. He gave me a birthday shout out. And then during the game, right before the game, a dad and his son came down. The boy was turning 8 years old, and it was his birthday. So 2 October 8th birthdays in the house. He was a Broncos fan, though. So I punched him in the face. So the Jets, Brees Hall was the story of the game. Our rushing attack was the story. One sad piece of news for this game is, in my opinion, is our right tackle / right guard, Elijah Vera Tucker, actually blew out his Achilles, and he is out for the season. They thought it was just a calf injury during the game, and then afterwards they found out that he is out for the season. So my NFL week, we're trying to fill that void of an offensive lineman. But like I said, again, the story of this game was Brees. Feed the man. You can look at our line, how sus we are. Yeah, he can still rush for that many yards. Our team can still rush for that many yards. So I'm feeling pretty optimistic about our offense, our rushing attack for sure moving forward. Peyton Manning was at the game as well. Just a little shout out. He took he had his kids take a selfie with Sauce during warm-ups. They're all over there and Sauce is all warming up and he goes, come over here. Comes over and has his kids take a selfie with Sauce. I'm like, you can do that any other time, Peyton. Like it's Sauce. Like
Hey, you're Peyton. You can do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, that's true. Especially he just walks out with his suit on, blah blah. That's all I got. It was a happy day for me. A win's a win. The end got a little scary, but our defense came through and Quincy Williams destroyed Russell Wilson's arm and forced a fumble. Which I don't know if anyone saw that. He also got hit before that, throwing once with his arm, and it was a fumble out of bounds. But I will guarantee you Russell Wilson has some knots in his arm. Gobo, we were in town together.
I was going to say, it was lovely. We had a lovely evening together. Wish I could have spent some more time, but I did have another previous social engagement. Definitely would have had more fun with you. But anyways, talking about football here, the Jets took care of business. They got the win. I still think there's a lot to be concerned about if you're a Jets fan. I think that Zach Wilson is really inefficient. I'll say Brees, when he's healthy, is a scary dude. I still like Garrett a lot. They got a couple of all-stars on defense. The Jets, they can upset teams. Like games against the Broncos, like they should win. They shouldn't have any problems with that. It got kind of close at the end, but the Jets ended up pulling it out. The Jets can upset the better teams, but I just don't think that they can win consistently, like in like a postseason type situation. So, good win on the Jets. Broncos. I see Russ trying. I think is probably the most painful thing is that Russell Wilson is trying to recover and improve from last year, and he's just getting his shit kicked every week. So I kind of feel bad for the guy, but then I drive past his mansion and I'm like, I don't feel that bad for him.
Yeah. Dames, your thoughts?
To me, the story of this game is Russell Wilson. Despite what others may think, he's actually playing along the lines of his Hall of Fame career trajectory, playing to throw for more yards than he's ever thrown for, on pace for like 38 touchdown passes, which he hasn't done since God knows how long. But dude, it's hard. It's hard to watch this Broncos team. It's hard to know what they're going to do from week to week. I had to pick them because it's the Jets. It's the fucking Jets. I mean, Gobo said it best. JETS, just end the season. And while I'm happy for you and happy birthday, congratulations. I think you're going to win just enough games to be like in the teens, the late teens for picks.
Right now we have the 10th pick, actually.
It's not good for you. Yeah, right now. But you're going to keep beating like the Broncos in a season that doesn't matter.
Right.
I mean, congrats. Every win, we never want to lose. But at some point in the season, you have to realize your quarterback is Zach Wilson. And if the Broncos are only going to go as far as Russell takes them, you got to say the same thing about the Jets and Zach Wilson. And if I had to take one of those two quarterbacks right now, it's still Russ.
But I mean, Zach Wilson did beat Josh Allen. Russell Wilson only lost by a field goal to Mahomes. I mean, if we're talking about quarterback play, man, just saying.
I understand all that, but you're also sitting on one of the better defenses and I will refer to Trent Dilfer. Does anybody want Trent Dilfer as their starting quarterback right now? No. Maybe Gobo.
Trent Dilfer is like 59 years old.
Maybe Gobo. But my point is, we have fucking Ray Lewis and the fucking
I don't think he's that old, man.
That defense. I mean,
right.
So yeah, I don't hate the Jets. I don't want you to think when I pick against them it's because I want you to lose or feel bad. It's the Broncos should have won that fucking game. And I have some coaching concerns for the first time with the Jets. That the way they played that last 5-6 minutes was infuriating to me. I just think that they lucked out having the guy get to Russell as he's trying to make a play. Trying to ask Russell to run the length of the field 2 times in 7 minutes is only reserved for the NFC Championship game against the Packers.
And we could I mean, I know Dames, this is your network, but can we find somebody to cut off his microphone? We want the ball and we're gonna score. That's all. That's my only response. That's the only response I fucking have to that.
And I still love that. I so love that. I mean, it hurt me at the time, but I fucking love that he said that.
Well, I want you to know that was painful for me to watch as well, because I was 16 years old when that happened. It was my first ever kidney stone. Happened during that game.
Memories. G-Man, do you have any memories about this Jets game? Broncos?
You guys have a guy by the name of Quinnen Williams, but his brother, Quincy Williams, is straight up getting better every year. And this guy is a monster. 2 sacks, fumble force, 9 tackles. I think he had 13 tackles the week before. He's all over the field. And, the Jets really is going to be all on Zach Wilson at some point, because the rest of the team is pretty solid as long as their O-line, can hang together here. But Denver sucks. That's all I got.
KC at Minnesota. This is the conspiracy game. Look, everything is scripted now. I don't know if you guys have been watching the news. Anybody chime in below about the call where the guy takes the helmet off and then the official just says, "Put your helmet back on." Doesn't throw the flag. And then he's over there like, even the Vikings coach, I mean, I'm going to go with him on this. Like, how can you tell him to put his helmet back on? If you take your helmet off on the field of play, isn't it a penalty? Isn't the rule?
It's a penalty.
Yeah, right. And he doesn't call it? Like, that's not a judgment call. That's not maybe we could call it. And then they also threw 2 flags for pass interference, and they go, actually, it's not. Which, maybe it wasn't, maybe it was, but I don't understand. If I see somebody holding someone or pass interference and I throw the flag, I'm not going to say, "Well, actually, never mind, I didn't see that." It's, you know what I mean? It's like, why did you took this out? I silly just threw it.
Another ref might come up to you and say, "Dude, you didn't see that. That never happened. You did not. That's not what." So,
yes,
I think you're missing the point of this game. What I want to say is, for the first time in 3 weeks, Taylor Swift did not travel with the Kansas City Chiefs on their plane. She was not anywhere in the house.
Minnesota sucks, so she didn't want to go.
Dropped a touchdown in the end zone. Oh man, it's all falling apart for Kansas City, you guys. If these
she's
broken up, oh baby. All
Went
those
up and asked for Purdy, man.
I saw fucking Viking fans with jerseys that said Swifty on the back. So people are buying jerseys in hopes that she'll be at the game that they're going to attend versus their team.
Right.
That's how stupid this whole thing is.
Yes.
No, dude, this is honestly, I mean, we're not even talking about football around the Chiefs anymore. So that's what's so crazy is that, like, arguably the best team in the AFC, and nobody gives a shit because one of the players is dating she's a prolific musician, which is crazy to me because she's so fucking mediocre. I mean, we're all musicians. We know, like, it's not hard to see, like, to do what Taylor Swift does, but it's like, it's insane the amount of draw that she has in the American media.
I love T Swift, so I'm.
Gobo's opinions do not reflect that.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Like, we just got, like, MCA sues the channel, like, immediately after.
Yeah. They know Taylor Swift's name.
Gobo, I'm with you, bro. I'm with you.
Right. No, I mean, and I honestly, Taylor Swift got a bunch of people to register to vote from Gen Z. So you know what? Good on you, sweetheart. I just, like, I don't understand the the appeal of her music. It's just loud. It's just noisy.
Gobo.
Hey, you need to calm down.
Call her sweetheart on the air. That is so not PR.
Oh.
James just cuts this entire section.
Fuck the Vikings. They suck. Your season's over. Kirk Cousins, where you gonna go? There's no TV show looking.
I'll call. Yeah, maybe I should call Kirk Cousins sweetheart because he is a bitch.
Yeah, NFL. Their season's NFL. I don't know, but I mean, his wife's probably up there listening to worship music during the game. Anyway, we'll get on to the Sunday night game, which is one of most people look forward to this game. I was looking forward to it. I was actually in Denver, like I said, went to a bar, tuned in, and literally before my meal got to me, the game was over. Like, I finished drinking, have a beer, get my food, look up, it's 21. Purdy. At what point are we going to say Purdy's the man? Right? At what point are we going to say now? Now? Dames, you're up.
I'm ready to say.
Let's say it.
Brock's Purdy.
Thank you.
Pretty good. I'm ready to say Hack Prescott. I'm ready to say the Niners are becoming scarier every week. I couldn't use that as my truth this week. I'll use that down the line when we play them. But if you talk, I saw one bad throw from Brock Purdy. Now, that doesn't change the fact that he doesn't have a cannon arm. It doesn't change the fact that things may change once he plays behind a line that has any phallus at all.
Yeah, right. Like, look at our teams.
Because once that happens, I mean, I still, he's good. He's good. He's good for what they have. His coach is putting him in an excellent position. He has ballers on every side of the ball to help him out. He's just doing everything that he needs to do. I find his arrogance quite annoying. I hate him. I hate him. I'll be honest with you. I absolutely hate him. But I'm supposed to.
Oh, surprise there.
Yeah. We all know you hate the 49er. Weird.
I mean, he's eating all you guys up. So how's it taste, motherfucker?
I mean, yeah, I'm sure G-Man Jess is loving this. Dallas is just all of a sudden going from the, oh my God, week 2, we beat the Jets. We're going to the Super Bowl. And now, here they are, coming back down to reality.
That was bad.
Gravity, bad.
Guys,
worse than San Francisco or Arizona?
Ooh, that's a tough one because. Well, I mean, I think it's a tough one because, San Francisco, I think they're the best team in the NFL. Honestly, I think it's I was on the Eagles train for a long time, but yeah, this 49ers team, they don't seem to have a weakness. I was always the one that says, like, Brock Purdy didn't need to be good to perform in that offense, but he is. Like he's totally one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL this year. And I think that they got to steal. They got to steal with him in the draft. I think that he's a serviceable starter on any team in the league. I think that he performs on basically any team in the league, sans a couple of those teams that don't have offensive lines. But yeah, 49ers are badass. So it's like the worst loss is probably to the Cardinals. But I think that like even Dallas at full strength, full tilt, they're still going to get blown out by this team.
They're on a collision course for the Super Bowl with the Kansas City Chiefs and a Taylor Swift halftime show, my friends. That's what's going to happen.
Taylor Swift is going to like after the game going to be seen making out with Brock Purdy.
Yes.
Go Cyclones, G-Men.
Oh my gosh. Guys, San Francisco, as we have all witnessed, is racking up yards and points. And this is what I want to bring to this. It has nothing to do with Dallas. The Miami Dolphins still average 100 more yards per game than the San Francisco 49ers. And that's the first and second team. So imagine how many more yards per game they have than the Giants. It's probably enough to make me laugh.
Bringing it back to the Giants.
Glad I didn't look that up. But no, their offense is awesome. Like you said, Purdy, he understands it. He's a point guard, just dishing it anywhere and everywhere where it should go to the open guy or wherever the situation is, and they look unstoppable.
Yep.
He's a smart player.
Yeah. Smart, man. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, the old wives' tale from the sea, 90% mental, 10% physical. You get to the league, everyone's fucking good. How good is your brain?
10-0 in the regular season. So, I mean, it really just comes down to, is he going to survive the playoffs or get hurt again? Like,
you know why I like that story, Jess?
Never loses.
You know why I like that story? Because we get 2 cracks at him this year.
Good luck.
I want to be the team that breaks that.
Be cool.
All right, last game of the week we're going to talk about before we get to this week's pick. Gobo team went down to Vegas. Jimmy G, please. Josh McDaniels, please. Gobo, give us your thoughts. We know you touched on it earlier. Anything else to add to this NFHell?
I mean, there's not really much else to say. The Raiders didn't beat us. Josh McDaniels didn't beat us. Like, we beat ourselves. We played a shit game. We came out ill-prepared. We made a lot of really bad mistakes, a lot of bad reads. We left our defense hanging out to dry. The Packers are so frustrating to me, and this has kind of been like a consistent theme over the last 2 seasons is that we absolutely refuse to address the issues that we have. Like, I was on the Packers Instagram today, and they're talking about like, oh, look at this new player we just signed. And it's a fucking practice squad player that they brought in to replace Calais Campbell on defense at linebacker. I'm like, okay, because we didn't just draft a linebacker in the first round of the fucking draft or anything. That didn't just happen. But no, let's bring up this practice squad guy who was making, working at Burger King 3 fucking weeks ago. And we're going to bring him in and he's going to go start against the Broncos. And then it's like, oh, we brought in another practice squad running back to replace Aaron Jones, the highest paid player on our team, who's been out and like, for whatever reason, is still nursing his injury. Just like, I don't want him to rush back, but it's just like, we don't have a pass game. And we don't have and AJ Dillon is okay, but he's a fucking third down back. Like, what are we supposed to do? How are we supposed to score points? We can't score points. We're not going to win any fucking games. And we're going to lose to teams with shitty coaches. Like Josh McDaniels coached a shitty game. Like, he put the Raiders in weird spots. He made bad calls. Jimmy Garoppolo made like 2 or 3 good throws the whole fucking game. Josh Jacobs was, okay. And then Max Crosby, who's like a decent defensive lineman, looked like goddamn TJ Watt against us because we don't have a fucking tackle that can block anybody. So yeah, as a Packers fan, it's like I'm literally in hell watching this game. It's like, we can't beat the Raiders. Who the fuck can we beat? That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, well, and another thing, I mean, not a funny thing, but like, I also think back, if you just rewind, what if Aaron Rodgers was still a Packer this year, and like they kind of made things up, they talked, and he came back. Last night there were so many throws where Love, like you said, dude, I saw the one throw wide open, like receiver has him beat by 5 yard overthrow. You're just like,
Right.
oh, just loft it up there, let him run under it, like.
And I don't remember if I said this to you guys, or if I was saying this earlier in the day. If Aaron Rodgers still played for the Packers this year, we'd be 4-1 right now.
Yeah, that's my.
Or 2-3.
So you guys are about one player away from being 4-1.
I mean, I don't think he would have made it through a few plays there either.
Right. I was gonna say, I mean, he would have also gotten injured on the third play of the season if he played for us too. I mean, so it wouldn't have mattered, but I'm just saying, like, with Aaron Rodgers still on the roster, like last year's Packers would be 4-1 right now, not 2-3.
So I think that's going to conclude this week's recap. You pretty much told why the Packers are in NFL. Teams out there, fans of teams out there, that your team's in NFL. Let us know your thoughts. James, you want to add one thing to this Pack game?
Yeah, I just want to say that for the record, Max Crosby is better than just a good defensive player. He's a fucking beast. He just happens to be on the Raiders. That's it.
Okay, he's a beast, but he's on the right. I mean, but it's like, if you could focus like your defense on blocking one fucking guy, like you feel like, I mean, the rest of the Chargers figured it out.
Right. Yeah, there's definitely ways to get around it. Anyway, are we concluded? I finished 6-8. Dames and Jass, G-Men Jass finished 8-6. Gobo finished 10-4. Right now, G-Men Jass does have a 1-game lead over Gobo. Jails and Dames come back.
You got to give me those numbers so I can put them up.
Okay, 44-34. Dames,
You, me,
and you.
we're both what?
44-34. 44-34.
All right.
G-Man Jass is 47-31. Gobo is 46-32.
Ooh, I'm in the positive.
Catching me.
Yeah, at home, post your overall record. Keep track, go back, kind of look through. Maybe you've been keeping track. Let us know where you're at. See if you're beating G-Man Jass. Right now, he is in the lead. Like I said, that does conclude week 5 recap. Don't forget to go listen to the end of the show for Ricky's picks. Right now, week 6, NFHell, Green Bay and Pittsburgh have a bye. Don't forget, we'll get to them next week when they come back. This week, we start off in Kansas City. I mean, I feel like this is almost like, this can't be, this is a division game. It's going to be, Denver comes to town. We're all talking about how horrible they are. Russell Wilson's having a pretty good year, but what does he do when he comes to Kansas City? Is T Swift going to be here? I'm going to start off, I'm going to go, this is quote unquote the easy pick. Kansas City 38, Denver 10. I feel like there's no, and when I say there's no way, this is when shit happens, but I feel like there's no way Denver comes into Kansas City and does anything. They play anything like they did the game I just watched. Mahomes, the Jets kicked 5 field goals. There's no way the Chiefs are kicking 5. They're scoring 3 touchdowns for sure. That means they're going to win by, like I said, 38-10. James?
Taylor Swift, we're watching you. I think this is one of the last games that she can actually attend before her tour starts. How's things going to happen for the relationship once the tour starts? Are we going to see Travis Kelce midweek going to this is just a weird thing, man. Like, we've never seen anything like this in the NFL before. And it's kind of NFHell for the rest of the league.
You're
Whether
right.
good or not, this is a fucking annoying thing that we have to talk about. But I think it's a closer game than you think. Dude, I mean, trajectory-wise, Sean Payton, Russell Wilson still on path for Hall of Fame careers. These guys aren't scrubs, dude. Can they put it together, though? And can they put it together in Kansas City? I wish Kansas City had a bunch of distractions over this Taylor Swift thing. I'm more obsessed with it than anybody, but that's not true. I have no jerseys, no Seahawk jerseys waiting for her to come to Seattle. However, I'm going to go Kansas City 27-24.
G-Man Jazz.
Can't pick Denver, won't pick Denver. I mean, could it happen? Sure. Will it happen? Probably not. Andy Reid, luxury of having Pat Mahomes, Thursday night, 37-17. And we see any Broncos Swifties. So I'm going to have to talk about it. Sounds like.
Gobo.
Yeah, I mean, yes, there are Broncos Swifties. I've been stuck in traffic with them when she extended her Eras tour to an additional night here at Invesco because she sold 130,000 tickets in 2 days.
A little bit of money.
One medium level metro area in the United States. It's how fucking popular this young gal is. But yeah, I mean, honestly, also big ups on Dames for knowing when the next leg of her tour starts. Yes, but the Chiefs are gonna kick some shit. Broncos suck. Arrowhead's I mean, this game could be wacky. It smells like a trap game, but Denver's too incompetent to pick. 28-13, Chiefs at home.
I love what you said there, because this is one thing that I was thinking of. I don't think the Chiefs are capable of a trap game. I think every other team in the league is susceptible to that, but I just don't think the Chiefs. That's not in their DNA.
Well, it's like you look at the
Does that
game
make sense?
because the Chiefs lost to Detroit in the beginning of the season, but it's just like Detroit's just a damn good team.
Yeah,
and
that wasn't. I mean,
they
they went in knowing that, and I feel like even against the Jets, and I had this realization when they played the Jets because I was like, they should have destroyed them. And Patrick Mahomes was like, that's a good team over there. He's like, so I just feel like it's not in their DNA to even think like that, which is good.
I think probably the 49ers might be in that same category, but maybe that might be it.
Yeah. Oh, Eagles.
All right. Well, we'll see, Jess, because they should not lose a game this year. They should go 17-0 into the playoffs and through the Super Bowl, based on what we've seen on paper right now. If they lose a game and it's not because of injury,
they got to meet up with the Eagles, so we'll see which one of those two gives.
They should whoop the Eagles.
Eagles are losing this week. All right. Baltimore at Tennessee. Tennessee.
Damn it.
All right. Gobo, let's go with you. Baltimore going down to Tennessee. Who you taking in this?
I hate this game. I really hate it.
Crap game for me.
Oh yeah, this is a big old trap burger, and I gained some games on you guys last week, so I am just hurting. I think I'm going to take the safe option. I think that because the Ravens lost last week, they need to rebound. I think that defense, if they get after Tannehill, if they can shut down the run, they shouldn't have any problems outscoring Tennessee. And then it's also one of those things. I feel like when I bet on Tennessee, they lose. So I'm gonna go with the Ravens on the road in a harder fought battle than it should have been, 24-21.
I actually go with I'm thinking the same as you. I'm taking a little lower scoring. I'm taking Baltimore 17-14, but I'm with you. I think it's hard. I feel like it's hard for a Harbaugh team with Lamar Jackson to lose 2 in a row, especially when it's like I could see if they were going to play the Chiefs or someone, but I feel like the Titans once again. That's the team where we're always like, oh yeah, they seem pretty. No,
teams they should be.
Yes, teams they should be. So I'm taking Baltimore in a close one because again, I think that's just what happens. So 17-14. G-Men.
As long as Tannehill is the starting quarterback for Tennessee, I will refuse to pick them. Baltimore 26-17. Basically everything you guys said. I mean, they're going to rebound and everything will be good for the week.
Oh, yeah. Just a robot right there. Dames.
I like the 26-17 score, but I'm taking Tennessee just
Dude, take 'em.
because of you mugs. I'll take in Baltimore.
Also,
Oh,
I want it noted also, this game is in Germany.
Oh,
Yeah,
damn
it's
it,
in-
I was hoping you would say that.
okay. I mean, to me, that almost makes it better. I feel like 'cause Lamar like speed when you're traveling. Whatever. We'll see.
I know, yeah.
Germany. Wow, that's
Yeah.
cool. What time is
Yep.
that? Is that on here then? Like, is it at some
7:30. It's
Okay.
Greenwich Mean Time, so it's 4 hours. It's like God, I'm trying to think. It's 4 hours ahead of Colorado time, so I don't fucking know.
noon or 8?
It starts at 7:30.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So okay. Sounds good, guys. Tune in. All right. All right. Washington goes down to Atlanta. The stupidest name in sports. G-Man, we'll start. This is your division team. Tell us what the Commanders are going to do. Let's hear it.
I think really with the inconsistencies of the Commanders, I'm finding it hard to pick them. So on the road, that's a team that seems to be in a lot of games, controls the ball. Got the rookie Bijan and Ritter, I believe, had his first 300+ yard game. So maybe he's starting to get a little more comfort in the league, and maybe we'll see him develop into something more than we thought
Got a new
coming into the
receiver.
year. New receiver coming to town. I'm not sure how much help he'll be, but Atlanta 20-17. I think it should be close, but you never know with Washington.
Right. I feel like Atlanta's in a lot of close games. Gobo.
Yeah, kind of the same sentiments. I don't like what Washington came across with against the Bears. I think they look disorganized. I think Ritter's going to have a good day. I think that Falcons defense is going to force some turnovers, and I think it's just going to be an ugly win. 20-10, Falcons in a pretty not fun to watch game.
James.
And this is 2 in a row. I'm going Washington. I think Washington's the one that's going to get turnovers on Ritter. I think that he's not that great of a quarterback, and just having 300 yards means they're willing to pass more, which means he's willing to make more mistakes or prone to make more mistakes. And I just see it going down that way. Riverboat Ron's not going to want to lose this game. Not that anybody's going to want to lose it, but I feel that way. I'm not picking this just to be against you guys. I'm picking it because that's what I had on my paper.
What's the score, bud?
2010.
2010. Wow, you guys. I love it. The reverse. All right, Gobes, we'll start with you on this one. Minnesota at Chicago, a division you're very familiar with without Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cookless Minnesota Vikings take on a hot Bears team. This one is going to be a tough one because I think that logically the Bears should win. But I'm going to take Minnesota on the road. They won. They beat Carolina on the road. This is their only win this year. Chicago has the longest active home losing streak of any team in the NFL. I think Minnesota gets it done. Another really boring, awful game, probably multiple turnovers on both sides. I'm going to say 17-14 Vikings.
All right. I'm going to kind of go with some of the same things you just said, but I'm going to actually say the Bears are finally going to get off the schneid of losing those home games. I think Minnesota's shock of losing Jefferson, coming back for a week now, all of a sudden, whoa, your number one target is gone. I think that's going to take a few weeks to adjust for them. Their defense is horrific. They're on the field all the time. And I'm not that I like Justin Fields, but I do think they're going to score a lot of points on this team. Kirk Cousins will keep it close because he'll throw for like 400 yards probably. I'm taking Bears 38-35 in a barn burner in Chicago. Polish sausage. G-Men.
Bears. Yeah, I feel like Minnesota is just bad with Justin Jefferson. I can't imagine they're better without him. I mean, it sometimes happens with players, but when your production is that insane, I don't think it can be. Bringing up some guy we've never heard of as their third receiver now, and a rookie at their first, Addison, and then good luck. Bears at home, 31. Vikings 22, and the talk of Cousins ending
It's already started.
starts amping.
So damn up James. Who you got on this game?
You guys surprised me. I thought I was going to be a lone bear here today.
A bear.
Ooh, is this going to be one where Gobo gains a game?
I know. I think you need to watch the games first, bud. But
Ooh.
we've got Jails has Minnesota scoring 35 without.
Right.
Bears defense sucks too, man.
But I can't think of a player on Minnesota's defense that I would want for my defense. I can't think of a single one. What? Say it, because it ain't going to be somebody that I would trade my guy for.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, and I think I'm going to go with Fields having another 4 touchdowns. So I'm going to go 28-22.
The Bears.
That's a baker's dozen, Bob.
That's a baker's dozen. Out to Cincinnati, Ohio, where our own Dames Marv Seattle Seahawks travel, coming off a bye week, traveling to Cincy. Dames Marv's. Let's get it started.
Well, we already know Pete Carroll's record in primetime is one of the best in the history of coaches in the NFL. We saw that on display last time we played. We also know that they're the best team playing at 10 a.m., which this game will be for our guys on the West Coast. It's a noon game here, 1 o'clock game there. Would be 10 o'clock on the Pacific Coast. So in those games, I don't know what Pete Carroll does to get these guys ready, but more often than not, we win these games. I just wish it was in primetime. This kind of game deserves that, especially when I look at some of the other primetime games on the schedule. I am worried about this game going full tilt against their team. Full tilt. We're still going to be banged up despite having the bye week, but Jamal Adams will be back for a couple plays at least. I guarantee he'll play a snap. Beyond that,
God, if he's gonna get hurt, dude.
There's got to be a Vegas line on this at this point.
He cleared the protocol.
The over/under on how many plays he's going to play. He took 9 snaps in the Giants game, and they were productive snaps. What's that?
Did he actually clear the protocol?
Yeah, he cleared today, so he'll be practicing tomorrow for full go. God dang it! I'm not going to pick against Seattle. Not yet. I know how good our team is, and I know how good our team can be. I just have to see that on the field for 60 minutes again. I saw it against the Giants, but the Giants, I'll be honest with you, are not as good as they were last season when we beat them. So I want to see that for 60 minutes, 45 minutes, as long as it's enough to get us the win, honestly. I just want to see what we can do. I love the fact that we're playing the Bengals. I'm fucking up for this game. Win or lose, I'm up for this game because it's a quality opponent in their house. I mean, dude, I'm playing against a quarterback that I have cards of that I can sit there. Oh, man, this is somebody that I collect in my collection, and we're playing against him. And to beat those guys when they're in their prime, there's nothing like it. So I'm going to go Seahawks 31-28.
Barn burner. Dames, I'm going to agree with you. I'm taking Seattle on the road 23-17. And the reason is I love this defense. I love the young team. You're basically you're just one of those teams that's on the up and up. And it's kind of doesn't depend on Geno. I feel like it did, but it's more of can they show up and play? And I still don't trust Cincinnati. Let's be honest. They had one good game so far. Yeah, Joe Burrow, whatever. I mean Carson Wentz.
Carson Palmer.
Carson Palmer. My bad. I'm going to take Seattle on the road, 23-17. Gobo.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to sound like a broken record. I'd like to take the Bengals in this game, but I just don't see it. I think even at home, Seattle, I think has a way better defense. I think their secondary is going to be able to bottle up Chase, especially with the we really don't know if Burrow and Chase's chemistry is going to be restored, or if it was just kind of a flash in the pan. I think Houston's got kind of a shitty defense. So I don't think Seattle has that issue. So I think that Seattle takes it. I think Geno, he cooks a little bit. I think Lockett, might get out there. I'm going to take Seattle 34-20.
G-Man Jazz, last but not least.
All right, guys, I like what you're saying. I'm interested to watch Witherspoon, see how he looks again this coming week, because
Oh my God.
it looks good. But that being said, I got a chance to gain one, and for the sake of what I already have on my paper, I thought about switching to Seattle, but after you're all three saying it, going to the Bengals at home, other than that they need to keep the streak or start a streak. So the only way to start a streak is to get the second one. Bengals at home, 24-20, and Chase keeps it going with another couple. So should be a good game though. And you're right, it's better than one primetime game for sure.
All right, next up, San Francisco, one of the teams that we're talking about being so good. Again, make sure you're playing along at home. We love to hear what you got to say here on NFHell. Thanks for sticking around, listening to the show. We appreciate the love. San Francisco goes to Cleveland. I'm going to say my first thoughts on this game is this is going to be a pretty close game. I like we talked about Cleveland's defense. San Francisco's on a roll. I'm going to keep picking them until they lose. I'm pretty sure we all are going to do that. Most likely, I guess I'm not going to, because, Dames might try to flip the script here. But I'm going to take San Francisco 31-21. I'm not going to pick Dick Touch guy ever. So I'm glad that they're playing San Francisco this week, because it just makes my pick easy times 2. Gobo.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really much to say about this game. 27-13, 49ers. Dick Touch guy is going to get touched by a young man named Joey Bosa, or Nick Bosa, I'm sorry. One of the Bosas. Yeah, I don't know where he's going to get touched, but it's not going to feel good. Browns, good defense. 49ers, good everything. So that wins.
James.
Much like I like seeing my own team play good matchups, I like to see the 49ers play some good matchups. I know that we just got off Dallas, but outside of that, I want to see what this team really can be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys size up your own division opponents, much like anybody would. But to me, like the Dallas game, I mean, if I just saw Arizona beat them, so I'm not like that impressed with Dallas. I'm not going to listen to the media. I'm going to see what I see on the TV screen. Quite frankly, outside of the first 2 weeks, Dallas looks like a shitty team that's unorganized and not really going anywhere. So that said, I don't feel like this is a great fun game to watch. I will obviously tune in because I have interest in it, but I'm going to go 49ers, like 38-12.
G-Man. Taking the upset here with the Brownies. We're sticking with
Yeah, not a chance. Not a chance. Last couple games, 49ers scored 7 touchdowns. Last game, 5 touchdowns. The game before that, and then games before that, it's like 3 touchdowns with like 3 or 4 field goals. And they score a lot, and reason to think leave the one-man wrecking crew of Myles Garrett can top 7 weapons of the 49ers. Their backup running back scored a touchdown, and I was like, holy shit, who's this guy? Just I don't know who he is, Mason or something like that, but he looked like an explosive like monster. I'm like, and he's like their 7th option. Huge check scored. I mean, I don't think anyone's going to go undefeated, but it'll be interesting to see when the streak stops. Not stopping. 30-20. Niners. 38. Sorry, excuse me. 38-20.
38-20. All right. Moving on. Nolans goes to Houston. James, we'll start with you.
Got New Orleans, 21-14. I think they kind of heard me last week when I was calling for some Taysom Hill action. He got some action, and he was very effective. So
Keep using him.
yeah, keep it up.
Keep using him. Gobo.
This is actually, I think, going to be one of the more entertaining games this weekend. Because you're going CJ Stroud, a tremendously talented kid. He's got a couple of options on offense there, going against one of the better defenses in the NFC South. I think it's going to be a really fun game. I'm also picking New Orleans. I think they're going to find I think that they're going to find a way to win it at the end. But yeah, it's going to be I mean, not necessarily a shootout, but I'm saying 27-24. Saints maybe in overtime.
Okay. G-Men Jazz.
I have this a low scoring close game. I think both teams are going to find trouble scoring points. 17-16 Saints. And I don't know if we said it loud about the last week's game, but I believe Alvin Kamara is the Saints' #1 most touchdowns in Saints history.
Good.
Isn't that crazy? That quick. I feel like he hasn't even been around that long. I mean, he has, but, he just feels like he's one of those guys. I'm also going to jump on the Saints pick. I'm taking them big, 24-9. I do like Houston. I like what they're doing. Would I be surprised if somehow Houston squeaked off an upset here? Not really. But I just feel like New Orleans is playing well. Houston, they're still young. They're still learning.
Wait a second. Are we all on New Orleans?
We are.
Yeah.
I'm going to switch.
There's no switching.
I think Houston's going to win.
There's no switch.
I think CJ
Get
Stroud
triple stamp.
touchdowns.
Are you keeping the same score? You just flipping it?
Yeah.
Flip it.
All right, 21-14.
I came close to picking Houston. I just think that I got to pick defense over offensive talent. I don't know.
BT, chime in. Tell Dames how dumb he is by picking Houston. Oh boy.
Never would.
Oh boy. All right, Indy at Jacksonville. The Jaguars, BDB, BDTL at home. I'm gonna take them. They're still rolling. I think they're finally hitting that stride that we all thought they would do from last year. Maybe it took them going over to London to kind of get it together. They're away from the US, like the media around here. I don't know. They, like Gobo was saying, they have a nice big fan base over there. It's kind of like a welcome home. Like, woohoo, we're back. Maybe we can let loose a little, start playing well. And then now they come home and they play the Colts. So, and I feel like the Colts are kind of who knows what's going on there. If Minshew plays, I feel like they do have a lot better chance because he's been playing well. But I'm going to take Jacksonville at home, 34-21, and a little bit of a shootout. I just feel like T-Law gets it going. Dames.
34-31. No, 34-21. Jacksonville.
Same score as me.
Okay.
Just
I do want to see Richardson play. I want to see Gardner Minshew go somewhere where they need him. They don't need him there.
Like Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Dude,
he's
That would be great. I would take Mustache
dude,
Man.
that would
all
be
day.
so exciting for me
Oh yeah.
to watch him play there. That would be awesome.
Richardson's hurt though. He's got the AC
I know.
joint.
I thought he had a concussion.
He's
That was
did.
the week before.
He's
Then he
the
played like 2 play.
quarterbacks. He's a missile, dude.
Yep. Better learn real quick to get down, or he's not going to be playing much in this league. G-Man, who you taking?
Jacksonville at home, 29-23. I just don't want to pick against them because I think you're right. They're not even playing that good yet, and we should probably see better football coming up. So they start clicking at home. Keep it rolling, Jacksonville.
Dude, I just thought of something. Is Richardson the next RG3?
He's
Third quarterback
He
pick,
got some RG3-ish tendencies.
third quarterback, or I guess he was second pick, but yeah, dude.
Or like Vince Young.
Look out.
Insanity.
Vince. Yeah. Gobo, who you taking in this one?
I got the Jags. Yeah, I'd love to pick the Colts in this game. I think that the Jaguars are going to be slow rolling. They're going to be a little jet lagged. They're back in the swamp. They gotta, go back to Jacksonville and realize how shitty it is to live there. And they're going to be
Do what you love, then, man. Switch it up. Do what you love. Switch it.
switch it. All right, let's see. Nah. I just don't I can't Big Dick Lawrence, man. Like he's just so much better than Gardner Minshew.
I want Gardner Minshew on my team. Oh, but I'm not gonna vote for him to
All right,
win.
fuck you then. All right, yeah, fine.
Oh, here
I
we
also
go.
come to peer pressure.
You do.
31-28 Colts.
Book
Fuck
it.
you. Fuck you guys.
Market zero.
NFL market.
Market zero. This isn't Nom Dames. There's rules here.
Oh, we bitched you into that one. I love it.
I love that we also quote movies, the same movies. So if you guys at home are thinking about, give us some quotes from movies. This is fun.
Oh, sure. Anything Coen Brothers, yeah.
Right. All right. Next game. I feel like I just want to pop this one in. It's like, what can the score actually be if the Dolphins go to, are at home against Carolina, play their best? How many points can they score? How many yards can they rack up? G-Man Jess, you're up first.
I got Miami racking up 42 points. I don't know how many yards that'll be, but I assume it'll be somewhere in their 500 to 600 yard range, if they have a great day. But I believe Achane might be out, so maybe that will limit running, so he'll even have to pass more, which would freeze the points. What's that?
He's day-to-day, but the Dolphins shouldn't play him.
Right.
Yeah, he might not play, but I have him still 42-21. Carolina is just half as good as Miami at best, so there you have it.
It's funny. I literally wrote this down and I was like, man, what score do I want? They did score 70 this year, so it's like, so I'm going to say 55-12. I'm saying it's another 50 burger. I don't see them slowing down, especially against this team. And it gets hurt.
Oh, you almost said it. He almost said it.
I was going to say, I like that the coach comes out and puts the pedal down with Tua, but fuck Tua. And they just come out, they don't care. They're just going to come out and all gas, no brake, jet style. 55-12. Gobo, who you taking?
Yeah, fuck the Dolphins. You almost stole my score. 56-10. Waddle gets a pair. Tyreek gets a pair. Defense gets a pair. By the end of the game,
touchdown for you. Touchdown for you.
Yeah,
two for you.
The punter, is going to get to play linebacker at the end. They're just going to be doing wacky shit. Carolina, yeah, they're going to get routed. It's going to be ugly.
Carolina's NFHell, I'm telling you. Dames Marvs,
I swear to God, if you take Miami Dolphins.
What's that?
Everything. Tua. Every time I turn on the fucking Red Zone network, he's throwing an interception. But it doesn't matter because he throws twice as many touchdowns. And they're the one team that I can see losing a turnover battle 4-0 and still winning the game. That's not happening in today's NFL, you guys.
by 4 touchdowns.
Right.
Yeah, by 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
It's fun to watch. It's a fucking party city.
I'm much against your team.
Goddamn dream, dude. Do I think he's the best quarterback in the NFL? No, I don't. Do I want him on the Seahawks? No, I don't. I value the ball. I value the ball. I don't like turnovers unless it's Tua. That team somehow can manage it. I don't think a lot of teams could manage it. I don't think it's going to be as high scoring as you guys do. I went 35-17.
All right, let us know at home how many points you think Miami's going to score. Another 70 burger?
They
How many
might break
scored?
the record.
I swear to God, if they score another set. Wait, what?
They could break the record. They could put up 77.
Right. Could you
It's
imagine?
possible.
Tecmo is
I'm
back.
for that, by the way, if they do.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, that's going to be insane. All right.
Hold on. Does Tua start getting MVP votes at this point? If that happens?
Or Tyreek?
Dude, not with Christian McCaffrey doing what he's doing.
True. He's
I
scoring.
mean,
right
you're
now.
breaking scoring records, dude.
Purdy and Hurts are undefeated, if they keep that up.
What if Tua had 60 touchdowns?
He has to be MVP then.
I mean, the AP is a fickle bunch.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, move on.
Going to Miami. All right. And this is probably not that interesting of a game to many people unless you're a Raiders fan or a Patriots fan right now. Patriots are shit. Vegas is shit.
Dude.
I want to watch this game because I want to see McDaniels
Yes! That's why this is an interesting
Yeah.
game.
at home. Dames, take down Belichick.
Given the new scenario of what happened this week with both teams, this should be Monday Night Football, bro. This is Monday Night Football.
Yeah, people would tune into this, man.
I guess we all hate both these teams, but the fan bases for both these teams are massive and they're fucking psychopaths. This deserves to be a primetime game, and I cannot wait to watch it. God, is it going to be a shitty game? Oh, absolutely. But that's what these two fan bases are thriving on right now. That Raiders win that they punked out last night, dude, they would way rather have that kind of win than a blowout. That team wants to be fucking rattled the entire time. That fan base loves that kind of gritty win. Ugly fucking shit. And this is going to be the same for whoever wins this game. I'm not ready to throw in the fucking towel on Belichick yet. I do think that his last couple performances, dude, you got the Jimmy G factor drafted by the Patriots.
I
This
know.
has every fucking storyline you want in the NFL, dude. Is he going to come and beat his old team, or is Mac Jones not going to be a problem this week? We don't know. I can't wait to see. This game is fucking fun. I'm going to go New England 21-20.
Yeah, tight one. Nice. G-Men.
The end. It's over.
It's
The end. It's over. The Raiders are going to win, and they're going to win pretty big. It's over. Belichick's done. They're not responding. They're on life support. And Jimmy G says 26-6. Adios.
2 field goals?
Gobo.
Yeah, I'd love to share your guys' optimism, but yeah, I think it's going to be a defensive game. I think there's going to be some turnovers, subpar quarterback play, maybe rough weather. I'm taking the Raiders 9-6. In a god awful game that nobody cares about. I hate both these fan bases, but I hate the Patriots like a little bit more. But yeah, these are just two bad teams going at, I think the Raiders are just a little bit less bad.
It's in Vegas. It's in Vegas.
Oh, it's in Vegas. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was in New England.
It's over.
Maybe it'll be really hot.
Love hateable fan bases. I love
Right.
it.
Yeah. So here's the thing with both of these teams, and here's the one wish I have for this game is 3 straight losses by giving up more than 30 points for the Patriots. Come on, Garoppolo. Stick it to your old team. Come on, McDaniels. Show Belichick that you're the young one coming out. I'm saying Vegas wins big, 34-9. Mac Jones keeps that suffering going, and he is going out. This is it. This is like, besides the Jets not being good, if the Patriots can suck.
Well, we'll see. They're starting over, so
They're starting. Oh, yeah, they're starting over. My bad.
they're 0-0 right now.
I forgot they're starting over.
Oh, you can do that?
You know what? Make the record 0-0. That's the thing to go.
A Hall of Fame coach with a huge resume. That's what we're looking at.
I hope him and Dayball talk. Let's start our season over too.
Yeah, can we get a reset? Rodgers is back? Oh, cool. All right. Moving on. Gobo, we'll start with you. Detroit going down to Tampa Bay. All the talk about Detroit on the ascension of greatness being one of these top teams. What do you got?
I got a dark horse pick on this one, guys. I'm taking Tampa. I'm taking Baker Mayfield at home. Detroit, you know what? They've been rolling. They haven't faced much adversity in the last couple of weeks. I think that they're going to run into Tampa. I think they're a pretty tough team. I think that they've played teams hard this season. I think that they're going to win a hard-fought game. I'm taking 21-17 Bucks.
And I love this pick, Gobo, and I'm like, oh yeah, remember that we hung out this weekend? We must have been putting out similar vibes. I also am taking the Bucks. They're coming off a bye. Todd Bowles coming off buys as a defensive coordinated-minded guy is going to be getting prepared for Detroit. I am taking Tampa Bay. You okay? What's wrong?
Gobo picking fucking Tampa Bay over Detroit is a hate crime. That's all it is. That's all it is. And you are drinking the Kool-Aid, fucking smoking whatever.
I love it.
Colorado.
I love this shit, man.
What the fuck, you guys?
Okay, let's go.
Come on, let's go. Keep going.
Yeah, let's hear it. Tampa Bay, I've been picking them all year.
This was a serious show that we put time and effort into. Apparently, I was wrong. Jesus Christ, Jas, get my back on this. Detroit's
33 to 12.
33-12. Detroit Lions.
Both of you.
Not even close, guys.
Thank you.
Watch. I mean, Dames, you're just like oppositional in all these picks. Like you're either gonna go like way, way downhill, or you're gonna like go ahead of everybody this week.
Damn right. That's how we roll.
Okay, I can't. Now I got to tune into this game just so I can rewind.
I know, like we're gonna have to like watch this game on fucking Zoom together so we can talk.
Yeah, we do. And me and you are gonna be like, "Let's go,
Right.
Baker Mayfield."
Yeah, Baker Mayfield making the Sooners proud.
Aiden Hutchinson snaps his fucking leg in the game.
Aiden Hutchinson goes to the Jacksonville game. He just like gets lost on the way to the way to the stadium.
This is why you start a show. This is why we do this, like NFL. Like you tune in, we're literally rooting for fucking stupid teams. Like I actually hate like a lot of these teams, but let's go Tampa Bay. Okay, anyway, but you heard me talk about Baker Mayfield a few years ago when he got drafted. I was like, I hate that guy, but I like him now. Moving on.
You're picking him.
What?
And you're picking him over Detroit.
He's back, dude. He's back. He looks slender. He looks
on his back. He's on his
back. Watch out for the Bucks defense is sneaky good. Arizona at the Rams, a warm weather game. I'm taking the Rams 35-21. I feel like the Cardinals, they beat the Cowboys, but now we kind of all know that the Cowboys kind of suck. So it wasn't that big of a deal. They should have beat the Giants, but they didn't. The Giants came back against the Cardinals. But I'm going to take the Rams. I think they're kind of cruising, as in this game, 35-21 at home. They get the win. Dames.
No one cares. No one cares. This game is just splitting hairs. Both teams suck. And I really don't give a fuck. Rams, 28-12.
28-12. G-Man Jazz, who'd you got?
I don't have a jingle, but Arizona tricked me into thinking they were worth a shit. And yeah, they can't pick Arizona anymore. Rams have all these weapons, and 27-17, Arizona back to hell. Rams right around 500 probably.
Kyler Murray's wearing his little sports bra, waiting to get back in. Gobo.
I mean, yeah, I hate to sound like a broken record. There's one of two things that's going to happen. Either the Rams are going to blow them out, or the Cardinals will keep it close, and the Rams will win a close one. I'm going to say the latter. I'm going to say also 21-17 Rams.
Look at all these scores. Close and close. All right. Game of the week. The undefeated Eagles. Everyone is counting out the Jets. We're going into Philly. Wait, are we going into Philly or is this a home game?
Home game.
Okay. They're coming into home game with the Jets. We're ready to go. We're ready to go. We're going to prove finally we almost beat the Chiefs. We beat the Bills. We had a down game against Cowboys. We're starting to go. We're going to run. We're going to run the ball. Yes, the defensive front of the Eagles is good, but I feel like this is a trap game for the Eagles. They're going to be looking past us. This is the first week where no, you guys are all shaking your head now, aren't you? I see.
Oh, were they doing that out loud?
Here's what is going to happen. The tush push is going to get stopped this week. The Jets are going to be smart. We're going to run behind and start pulling him backwards instead of trying to push against the force. It just makes sense. Run around, grab him from his ass, pull him back, grab him by the feet. I'm going to say
He'll already have progress by then, bro.
no, we'll stop him up. We got Sauce coming around the corner. He's got him.
Quinn lift him
up in the middle. 27-24 OT. Jets are going to win a close one. It's going to be exciting in New York. Dames Marvs, let me hear it.
Here's why it's not a trap game. Trap games are typically a big market team going into a small market team or a small market team coming into a big market team. That's not the case here. The coverage is there. Everybody knows everything about your teams.
Salary cap.
No surprises that the Jets have hung with. I mean, I would. Here's what I would say to this game. Philadelphia probably doesn't know that the Seattle Seahawks beat the Detroit Lions. They know that the Jets hung with Kansas City. They know that you just went into Denver and won because that's what's in their face all the time. They know this. It's not a surprise to them.
Nope.
So the trap is out the window. That theory just gets thrown out. Not a trap game. That said, it's going to be roster against roster. And I look at the Jets have a number of positions that outweigh Philadelphia's roster on the other side. But the ones that matter the most, well, we know what they are. So I got to go Philly 28-17.
Gobo.
I'm surprised any Jets fan will mention anything about like a butt in general and not get like horrible PTSD from the fucking Mark Sanchez thing.
Dirty Sanchez.
The dirtiest of Sanchez's. Yeah, I got the Eagles. Their front four, their offensive line is great. I think Zach Wilson is going to get tarred in this game. Defense is going to struggle, I think, against Philly because they're going to be put in constantly bad field position situations. I think Eagles might take this one big, 35-13.
Sorry, I listened to all of that, I promise.
G-Man, you're going to pick the fucking Eagles.
I am going to pick the fucking Eagles.
Oh, what an asshole.
Unbelievable.
No, the guy wants to win.
Going to be a pretty big margin. This is another one of those games where I think the Jets get up against a pretty good top 10, top 5 defense. This is where they're going to struggle. They can kind of hang with almost most of the teams, but when they see the Eagles and all their weapons on defense and offense, the talent's too much. 35-10. I would love for the Jets to win, but
Me too.
Yeah.
fuck.
I mean, you're good. Yeah.
I will say
We're all
that.
rooting for you,
You
Jets.
play to win the game.
Yeah,
To win the game.
I just know you're going to fail.
Well, and I mean, just as much as you believe that you can win,
Right.
I don't even believe I can beat Buffalo that much, but I'm still gonna pick my boys.
Well, we'll just move right into this segue there, G-Men Jazz. Again,
Yes.
at home, let us know. G-Men Jazz, Giants at Buffalo, Sunday night game.
None other than we have to win, and Dayball knows Josh Allen better than most, so hopefully he can scheme up a few things to slow him down. Obviously, don't have a lot of faith or confidence going into this. Hopefully, Leo Collins gets signed tomorrow and is in uniform this week, and Andrew Thomas comes back, and Saquon comes back, and some of these other guys come back, but hell will be burning very, very hot next week if this is a blowout 40-10 or something like that. Who knows when Dayball's seat already starts getting hot because we've had coaches make the playoffs their first year with I think McAdoo or Joe Judge had a pretty good year. In the second year they were on the hot seat, same time as right now. So get our shit together, get a fucking win, make me believe in anything good about football at this point of the season. Let's go. 20-19. That score should ring a bell.
Oh, Super Bowl, Scott Norwood missed the kick. You missed it. Why?
I
Go.
got a lot to say about this one.
Gobo, go ahead.
Oh, I get to go second.
Get to go second.
I didn't have a score in mind, but Jazz kind of filled me in. I'm gonna go 40-10 Bills. I'm sorry, Jazz. It's just like the Giants are just bad.
You're welcome.
I mean, who knew Matt Breida was still in the league? I learned that last week when I had to replace Saquon on my fantasy team. I hope Saquon plays. I think that he could maybe bring the gap in a little bit. Still not going to deal with the issues that you're looking at on defense. I mean, there's just the Giants. You're in NFL hell right now, dude. Like, I think, yeah, your coach probably is destined for unemployment at the end of the season. And yeah, I don't see it turning around against the Bills team, who are one of the best teams in the AFC. So I think it's going to be an easy win.
Right. As much as I'm going for the Giants in this game, I feel like maybe Tyrod Taylor's going to play and it could be a little closer. Who knows? You know what I mean? Like maybe they need a change. Maybe Daniel's hurt enough. They're just like, you know what? Sit out a game. We're playing the Bills. Fuck it. Let's try whatever we can. They haven't game planned against them. Dayball's like, why not? I still feel like the Bills are rolling right now. And I think they also win big. And it has a lot to do with the offensive line of the Giants. There's no time for DJ to throw. He can't run. Their receivers are out. Waller's not getting involved. Buffalo 42, Giants 14. I'm going for the Giants, but I'm not seeing it happening. Dames Mars.
I have what I think is a redundant question for Jess. Do you kind of wish this game wasn't in primetime? With a 1-12 record?
Yes, it's very redundant. I'd rather be playing across the ocean, fucking down south, anywhere.
8:30 in the morning.
I mean, you beat us in London last year, so
yeah.
Here's the thing, you guys. Dable didn't sign Daniel Jones to this contract. If I'm looking at who's going to be potentially ousted at the end of this season, it ain't Dable. That guy was fucking coach of the year last year, and he took a team that wasn't supposed to be very good and made them almost great. He got the most out of Daniel Jones for a year, which maybe you can blame him for getting out of him and giving the front office.
Well, and we had Saquon and Andrew Thomas the whole season. They've missed the last 4 games, which doesn't help when your already talent is
certainly matters
lower. But every team has injuries. Yeah.
But Dable ain't to blame, and I'm sure that he would be super fine getting fired if that Chargers job is to open up, because I know that's where he wanted to be all along. That said, that I'm not saying he hasn't put his full effort into New York, because he clearly has. I clearly think he is capable. He's a good coach. I would say he's a top 10 coach in this league at this point. Even now, like I said, he wasn't the one that saddled himself with that ridiculous. And it's not even that. I mean, it is what it is. I just think the whole situation sucks, honestly. Especially when I have a friend who's living in hell because of these decisions. But
I have a theory on they're waiting to bring Thomas and Saquon back until after the Bills game because we still just need to be 6-6 going into the bye. So the schedule after this is just easy.
For who?
You're moneyballing it.
has been a gauntlet. So,
Moneyballing it. All of a sudden, the Giants are just
Moneyballing
going to
it.
ascend.
I think Buffalo's going to win, but I think it's going to be more like 28-17.
Right, and I think maybe G-Man Jess kind of mentioned it a bit. Like, I do feel like maybe Dayball is going to have a little bit of a revenge. Like, you know, he wants to, and I feel like they'll be motivated maybe a little bit by that. Like, hey, man, come on, I want to beat my old team. Granted, they don't.
You know what the outlier is here, you guys? I don't know what Daniel Jones thinks. I can't tell any of his emotions based on what he looks like on the field or how he talks in the press conference. I have no idea if he hates the situation he's in, if he looks at it as a challenge, if he's mad at his coach, or if his coach is. I don't see any of that. I don't know. And I mean, I've been looking for it. I've been watching the press conferences to see if I can see anything that I can comment on.
No.
I don't get anything emotionally out of Daniel Jones. And I don't know if that's just him and his poker face, or if he's just if he just got his head knocked in from 11 sacks last week.
Eli Manning was his mentor, dude.
Yeah. So that's a good point too.
I mean, you know, he's just like, be quiet. Just shut up. You don't need to say anything. You're the quarterback. All right, moving on. NFHell, welcome. You know, that's kind of, again.
That was a fun game.
Already in NFL. What week are we in already? I thought, you know, I wish we could rewind week one. We're all in. Anyway. Dallas.
Do you really want to relive that again?
I know I do. I definitely do not. God, that was like, anyway. NFL, dude. It was literally NFL. I'm like, what's the worst thing that could happen in the first Jets game?
I said it the week before.
Yeah, thanks a lot, dude. Putting that shit in the universe. Keep that shit in your mouth, Daniel Jones.
Yeah, how do you win? Like, you're an underdog. You win the game against a division rival, and you still have the worst time.
That was not fun at all. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're like jumping around because we like whatever. We all know NFL. Thanks for tuning in again. Last pick coming up. Don't forget, stick around. Ricky's picks. You be up. Hunskies. Ricky football. All right. Dallas at the Chargers. Again, Dallas is on primetime fucking football. I don't want to tune in I will. We all will. But every time I turn on, I see Dallas. I'm like, come on, Cracker. You watching this game, boy? Huh? I'm sure you are. And remember, I mean, I feel like we need you to comment down in here earlier in the year. Oh, my goodness. What's happening to your boys?
Where'd you go?
Where'd you go, bud? Where'd you go? I'll start off this one with
My left tackle was hurt. Raise your hand if your left tackle is not hurt. Oh, guess what, motherfucker? All of our left tackles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Actually, that is so wild. Okay.
All of them.
I'm going to take I do think it is going to be a well-fought game. I do think Dallas does have a decent defense. Dak can't play this shitty the whole year. I think it's a close one, but I do think the Chargers, he can. You're right. I think the Chargers win a close one, 24-21. The Chargers are kind of like one of those teams like we keep saying, when are they going to do it? Maybe this is it. Herbert, Monday Night Football.
Eckler's back.
What's up?
Eckler's back, but I know that Gobo doesn't think that matters, so I kind of want to hear from him.
Okay, well, let's hear it, Gobo. Numero dos.
All right, so I said that like 3 hours ago, so I don't remember exactly what my thought process was. But
Are you
I
back
still
now?
think the Cowboys win this game. And I think that this is probably one of the worst primetime games. Like, I have really no interest in fucking watching this thing. I just think it's a mismatch. I think that the Cowboys will play badly, the Chargers will play decently, and still the Cowboys will come up with a win just because I think that they're a more talented team. McCarthy's a shitty coach. No two ways about it. I'm saying 28-25, Dallas pulls off a squeaker in a game that nobody enjoys.
Dave's.
All right. I want the Chargers to win this game badly because if there's a fan base that I hate more than anybody, it is the Dallas Cowboys fan base. I don't hate the people. I hate the way.
Yeah, Jason, we don't hate you. We love you, but
I love that you pay attention to the show, even though we don't really give you anything but negativity.
yeah, we just like talk shit about the Cowboys. The one
we do address you personally on this show.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Fuck your fans. I do think you're going to sneak out a win here, 21-17 against the Chargers, because they've done nothing to make me think that they are capable of winning football games ever.
So wait, you're picking Dallas?
Yeah.
Pick Dallas.
G-Man, you going with the guys and picking the boys in your division, or are you taking the Chargers?
Remember, you're in the lead right now.
And I'm taking the Chargers. 28-20. We're all just talking about how Dallas got exposed, got some things thrown against them. Excuse me, that Herbert can run with who's back, and Keenan Allen, who is like a target monster this year. What was that? Chargers 28-20. Dallas is just not as good as we thought they were, and the Chargers are rolling.
Yeah, Gobo, I'm going to say, that game's going to be the Sunday night game. I mean, G-Man, I'll be watching with, G-Man Jazz, but besides that, I hate the Bills. Actually, I want the Giants to win. So anyway, everyone out there, thanks for tuning in to NFL. Remember, here in about 5-10 seconds, Ricky's picks coming up. Tune in, get your little write down, throw some bets out there responsibly. We appreciate every one of you tuning in. I am Midwest Jet, your host. I am here with Dames, Marvs,
1-800-bets off.
G-Man Jazz,
Drink responsibly.
Gobo.
The hellfire, it burns us.
Freeze it.
What's up, everybody? Ricky Montalvo back here again for the Week 6 NFL slate, coming off another hot and bothered Sunday, where we did manage to turn a profit and keep our winning ways alive for the meantime. And we're going to get into that. First, let's check our season record as of right now. We are sitting at 11-5 with plus 5.5 units. $100 bettors would be up $550 so far through these first 5 weeks of football, so not bad. I think it's fantastic. Like I said before to you guys so many times, when you're able to turn any kind of profit in gambling, that's what gambling really is. It's slow and steady. It's not get rich quick. It's a grind. And I asked everyone to stay patient with me. We're slowly building the bankroll. So stick with me here, and hopefully we can turn in some more W's this week as we move on to Week 6. But first, let's review what we did last week. So last week, we had the Falcons -2 was the official pick I gave to you. And I'm going to take a pause here and talk and speak to the elephant in the room. When I gave you the number, I told everyone that the -2 was the official pick. Now, I had said you could take it to -2.5, that I was comfortable with that number. I had mentioned last week that Falcons number was bouncing around like crazy versus the Texans. A lot of movement. It had dropped down to 1.5. A lot of pros came in and hammered the Texans +3, had pushed the number down. So Some of you probably cashed this bet and didn't even push it if you had the 1.5. And then some of you may have lost it. But for the sake of the ledger and for the sake of, keeping track of what we're doing, I did say that the 2 was the official pick if you go back and check it out. So this is a push game. A lot of variables for people that could have cashed this bet or not. We'll take pushes. I know we like to win, but ultimately we will take a push. It just is what it is. Last week we had the Saints plus 1.5. This one never in doubt, never in question. I had sat here and told you last week that the offense for the Patriots was super sus. And here we are. They were maximum suspect out there against a good Saints defense. And I got to tell you, Belichick may need to pull an Andy Reid here, and knowing that he's one of the best coaches in football, and move this system somewhere else, because I don't know, man. Just my 2 cents. Again, grain of salt when it comes to opinions about your team. But Pats fan, just a normal team like the Packers right now. Oh, man. So never in question. I told you guys last week the pros were going to come in and hammer the Patriots. They did. And I told you last week I didn't care. We cashed that bet. No sweat for you on Sunday. And then finally, we had the 49ers minus 3.5. Another no sweat. You could have went to bed at halftime probably. I told you last week. I got to quit saying I told you, but I told you. It feels good. We had the 49ers just beating up on Dak. A lot of guys I respected actually came in on the Cowboys position at the plus 3.5. I know it's a juicy number that they hung out there, but oh man, I just didn't buy it. Didn't like it. Dak doing Dak things. The Cowboys offense doing their thing against the Niners. It was just Niners all day. So unofficially, it's a 2-0 is what it is. I mean, you've got the push in there, but I'm not going to keep tracks of pushes. You didn't lose money. You didn't win money. We'll just move on beyond it. And that puts us 11-5, like I said earlier, which also leads me as another great lesson here to our teaching lesson of the moment, which is purchasing points. So if you're not sure what that is, it's where a book offers you a line and you potentially agree to try to buy points if they are making it available. Bookies like to do this too, third-party websites. I won't go into that, but official books sometimes will allow you to do that. Most of the time, my friends, it is not worth it to purchase points. Typically, you'll just juice out on your losses. It's usually not there in value, and it slowly kind of hemorrhages your bankroll a little bit. So that's why I always talk about standard juice at the minus 110, keeping it simple there. That way it doesn't affect our units too much. Sometimes there's some positions or maybe get a 3.5, that's key. But usually when people lose, like on this Falcons one, and that's why I'm bringing it up, like, oh man, I wish I had just bought it to the 1.5 if it was available. You remember the ones that you push or you lost on because you didn't buy the points, but you don't realize how not impactful that is. Usually the majority of the time. In gambling, you're either on the right side or you're not. And typically when it comes to points and betting dogs, you're usually on the right side or you're not. So hang tight with me. I'm going to try to keep defining the lines. I try to give you some wiggle room as I've been giving these picks, to be fair to myself here, giving you a little bit of a range, and I'll evaluate that as we make these picks here tonight. Again, recording on a Tuesday, and you'll get this on a Wednesday. So hopefully I can help you out. And let's press on to our slate here, Week 6, the NFL 2023 season. And for the first pick of Ricky's picks, we are going to the Detroit Lions, traveling to Raymond James Stadium versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is a 3:25 afternoon game, little taster here. So we have a classic pros Joe's game here. Jared Goff I mentioned this before when I backed the Packers a couple weeks ago, to my chagrin, that Jared Goff does not do well outdoors. He's typically a dome guy, and he just does better at home. Goff isn't playing excellent. The Lions are red hot right now. But I see this Tampa Bay team off of the bye and being at home as a good matchup for Tampa Bay, a Tampa Bay team that I think has actually gone so far beyond the expectation this year. They're playing tough. They're still keeping up with a solid defense. Excuse me. And the public is all over the Lions here with this one. Again, like I mentioned earlier, they're a red hot team. People just want to kind of tail off of them. And I like the position of the dog. The Lions have been beaten up on some bad teams. And I just think this is a good test for the Lions against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bucks playing well, and I think it's a little bit more evenly matched than what is being perceived right now. So the official pick is going to be the Buccaneers +3 at home. Now, before you run onto your app, I'm seeing out there right now a lot of threes across the board for the Buccaneers. However, it's juiced towards the Lions, so -120 at the -3. So I think if you hang in there, you might be able to get a 3.5. And I'd really like you to have the 3.5 here. Having the hook, I could just easily see this being a field goal game. So getting the hook would be nice here. I think it may pop up, so keep an eye on it. But you can take it at the 3. So Buccaneers +3 at home. Hopefully Baker and gang can get it done. Hopefully we get back Mike Evans. He's off that hammy, but we'll see. Evans or no Evans. Official pick, first pick, Ricky's picks. Let's go. Then moving to our second game here right now, we have the Indianapolis Colts traveling to Everbank Stadium of the Jacksonville Jaguars, a noon game on the slate. And before I go any further, I just wanted to say these are in no real true particular order. I don't have a stronger first, second, third. All these picks, just put a unit on it. Don't fade according to what you think I'm maybe putting out there. Yeah. This line currently tucked in at a 4, and I'm seeing a 4.5 at a very public, very predominant book right now. So the Colts opened up at 5.5 here with the Jags. Money and tickets pouring in on the Colts. So right now we're just seeing most of the action go towards the Colts side. Richardson's out for this game. We're going to get Gardner Minshew with another start here. And right now, I like backing the Colts team in this divisional matchup. The Bills defense is really beat up. I think they just lost their star linebacker, Milano. And the most important thing here is that the Jags are coming home from England. They've been there for 2 weeks, so they didn't have to travel this past week, but they do have to travel home back to Jacksonville for this one. I don't mind backing Gardner Minshew here. I think he's a good to high upside backup quarterback. And I just feel like it's too many points for this divisional game. And I think this probably falls somewhere on the 3 when we finish here. The Colts are well coached. They're playing with a lot of fire, a lot of energy. They're playing all 4 quarters right now. And I just like what I'm seeing out of them. The whole world, well, I guess maybe not the whole world since this game was an AM game, but just saw the Jags beat the Bills. I think this is a little bit of an overreaction. I think that line was grotesque at 5.5. Are you kidding me? And it's just been getting bet down. So right now, I like the Colts at the 4.5. That is the official pick because this is, again, at the most predominant book in the nation, but you can take this to 4. So give me the Colts plus 4.5 at the Jaguars. Second pick, Ricky's picks. And moving to our final pick of this fine evening, we have, believe it or not, Monday Night Football, as the Cowboys traveling to Los Angeles to take on the Chargers at SoFi Stadium. Monday Night Football. So I told y'all last week, fade them boys. And I'm going to tell y'all again this week to fade them boys. The line is very interesting. I'm seeing numbers all over from 2.5 down to 1.5 even right now. Okay. We're getting the rare reverse line movement right now. And what does that mean? In this particular case, it's where there's a heavy amount of money on the Cowboys, but the line still continues to move to the Chargers. Take the dog and take the points here with the Chargers. I think that whoever has this ball at the end of the game will probably win. I like backing Herbert in prime time. He does shine there. They're coming off of the bye, and with them coming off of the bye, we get the return of Austin Eckler, a piece that they really, really need. And this offense is different when he is out there. The Dallas offensive line just still has not come together yet, and they're trying to figure it out. But look for Bosa and Khalil Mack to get after this one. I like them here. Dak is not good against pressure. It feels like it should be a buy low spot on the Cowboys, but I'm just going to keep riding against them actually right now. And I'm going to back the Chargers here at home in the primetime position. Even though there'll be a ton of Cowboys fans there, I don't care. If I had to put on my Nostradamus hat here or predict the future, Chargers have the ball at the end of the game. They're down. They go score a touchdown, but they're still down by 1 point. And instead of kicking the extra point, Staley will probably go for 2 and fuck it up. Yeah, the Cowboys will probably win and the Chargers will cover. So I'm just being tongue in cheek there when I say that, but Staley going Staley, that's for sure. So all that aside, the official number is plus 2.5. As again, they are hanging a plus 2.5 at a very predominant, very public, the most public book out there. But if you get this tomorrow and it's at 2, you can take the 2, okay? So hang with me, everyone. We're doing great. Up 5.5 units on Ricky's picks. We're doing good. Don't up the unit size. Stay small. Stick to your unit amount. Gamble responsibly, please. Let's ride, my friends. This has been Ricky Montalvo with Ricky's Picks, and I will see all of you in the trenches.